All right, folks, welcome back. London, England here, the Gfinity Arena, Spring Masters #2. We've gotten rid of Karn, but we've brought in Natu. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Now,
that was a hefty shoulder slap.
That was. He's a big guy. He can handle it.
Easy scoots,
Duncan's a little delicate flower. You can't hit him like that.
Yeah. He's got it in his contract. You can't touch him, actually.
So let's talk about you a little bit. Obviously, historical pro, been around for a very long time. 1.6 as well as this game. But now you've transitioned and you're working for NIP. Tell us a little about your role with NIP.
Well, I'm a coach, obviously, but I try to be a hands-on coach, help him a lot, and not just be a guy standing behind them. But you know, I'm hoping that more tournaments will give me, or give coaches in general, more opportunities to be a part of like team speak and so forth, because that's going to be a big help. It's easy for me since I've been playing for so long. I can see small details, things that need fixing, looking at timings, and just brainstorming on new things and giving a bit of new ideas on how to approach the game and the tendencies and everything. So basically, I'm there for them in game, but also for them mentally and the whole, basically everything.
Yeah, and we always talk about it, like, obviously my time at EG, I was more of the manager, cheerleader type. There was no way I was going to tell Tommy what strats he should be running or any of those kind of things. Because, again, they're not going to listen to me in that sense, right?
Although you did carry a baseball bat.
I did have a bat.
If I remember rightly.
Do not peek was my only saying, because I could tell, like, when you...
So, you know...
This game's a little different on peeking than
1.6. Good motivational technique.
Yeah, don't peek. Yeah. Jordan can tell you about getting hit with the do not peek bat. And again, so I think that works in a guy like yours' favor amazingly, because obviously you do have a pedigree that they're going to respect and listen to on those kind of things instead of going, Scoot, shut up, bro, you know?
No, they've been really, really open to my opinions, and we've just basically agreed on, like, that they also have to listen to me as well. And it's not going to be just like I tell them something. I'm going to give them ideas, and I'm going to expect them to take those ideas that I give them and use them. And then we're going to brainstorm them together. So it's going to be teamwork, regardless.
So kind of a six-man in that sense. Yeah. Now, do you think if it does get to the point that, A, you're in the booth and you're on comms with them, like, would a guy like you turn into the strat caller even?
I think that's maybe a bit of a stretch. I don't know. Maybe down the line, but I don't think it would be, especially mid-round, it needs to be someone that is actually playing, because there's a lot of instinctive things that you do that just happen in the game, and it's going to be hard for, like, let's say you're committed to doing something, and then someone from behind just going to yell at you to do something totally different, and that's just going to screw you up totally. Yeah. So I think that's maybe a bit of a stretch at this point.
Gotcha. More an extra set of eyes, again, knowledgeable insight into stuff. Okay, and before we get into it, obviously we're going to do Titan Cloud9, but let's talk about your group a little bit, because, Group A is crazy. Both groups are going to end up with some ties, and the admins are still furiously figuring out exactly who has to do what to get where. But you've got, one more match, the last match tonight, versus NIP. You're sitting at 5 points. Navi's sitting at 4 points. Fnatic is sitting at 6 right now, and potentially, depending on how they do against Team Liquid, that could give them 7. So it's kind of almost a battle for second place for sure. Mm-hmm. How you feeling about that matchup?
Well, for us, it's the first things first. We need to take at least a map out of that match, and obviously we're looking to 0 it, so that gives us a chance of going first in our group. Yeah, and
like we talked about offline, you take one map that gives you 6. Obviously, not enough for Navi, so you would come through second, depending on obviously what Fnatic does.
And at this point, there's only top 4 at this tournament is going to be only teams that are on a certain pedigree, so it doesn't really matter who you're going to be facing anyway.
So do you care?
We don't care.
Okay, gotcha. Got to beat them all anyway, one way or another, generally, right? All right, well, let's jump into this one. So Titan, Cloud9, and again, the points for those guys, Titan is sitting at 6 points. Cloud9 only sitting at 3. So the odds of, I'm just trying to think mathematically, can they...
I think
Cloud9 is done.
Pretty much.
Right? Yeah, because even if they were to get 6, I think they're done, because these two still have matches. Virtus has that match as well, and Envy's sitting on 9. So it's going to come down to Titan, Virtus, and Envy in that group, probably.
Yeah, I think they needed Envy to take a map off Virtus, which obviously didn't happen. We were watching that, in the player area. Cloud9 very interested in that game, as you can imagine. They were all there. The manager was there. Trey was there. They were all watching it, and I think mathematically they're out of the running now based on the reaction. So
yeah, and let's go ahead and take a look at that group too. So we got some information on Group B, kind of bring you up to speed on the graphics. And again, as you can see, Envy is sitting right up there at 9. They won 3 out of 4 of their matches as sweeps. Dropped that, obviously, last one to Virtus Pro. So Virtus Pro is looking pretty good. They, again, have one more match. They will play, again, thankfully for them, Immunity. But Immunity's got nothing to lose. Yeah. So that could turn into a crazy spoiler match.
For sure.
Odds are it should be a 2-0 for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine so as well, especially with Virtus Pro. That's a huge performance they've just put in against Envy. Sure, you can theory craft a little bit and say, oh, well, Envious, they know they're through the group now, they're on 9 points, blah, blah, blah. But they'll have wanted to win that game. They won't have they might have approached it in second gear, but they still wanted to win. Virtus Pro obviously knew the task ahead of them, and they went out and hit the ground running. So, I don't see Immunity getting an upset there at all. I think Virtus Pro have got game heads on at this point.
And let's backtrack a little bit and just kind of show Group A, since we talked about it, but we didn't really show it. So again, just to give you an idea of how crazy that group is right now, lots of fives sitting there. Your thoughts, because we were talking about it with Karn. This group especially, if we go back to the old school best of ones to get out of groups, Vox comes out of group in first place because the first map they won on all those teams was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually a very interesting group. The way of doing the groups, I would still prefer. I mean, I guess the best way of doing it would be GSL style best of 3, but that's very time strained. Like, it's gonna take a lot of time. So I think this is a pretty good compromise in a way. And it's gonna the only problem, as Karn was talking about, was the fact that there could be matches that are groups that are decided in a way where, let's say the last map, for example, the Immunity Virtus Pro match. For example, Immunity has they have nothing to play for except for their pride. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro is going to be a very important match for them. So that's the only thing that I see as a problem in this system. But apart from that, it's been entertaining to say the least.
Yeah. Well, let's start looking at Cloud9. Here they are. Obviously, a quick core roster, but there have been a couple adds. Obviously, Freakazoid and Skadoodle are the new guys. Freakazoid with his custom
I love that.
gun show, like him and Pasha, the Battle of the Gun Show. There was a debate that they should actually not do knife round.
Just have an arm wrestle.
They should do an arm wrestling contest. The internet would lose their minds. So that's those guys. Obviously, new roster, so they're still figuring out their chemistry, what works, what doesn't work. Sean Karras is still the caller, but he's got to figure out how to use his tool set, right? And he is still working on it.
And I think they have been a little bit disappointed with the way things have gone today. I think they had high hopes and they set themselves a high standard. They're not making any excuses. They're not hiding. Behind everything hasn't been perfect this time around. They know that this is part of an evolution. It's good to hear actually, because they said we were trying lots, in the build up to this when we were talking, and that they are setting themselves at a high standard. I think they realise now the weight of expectation that's going to be placed upon them, because that roster should be not just a dominant force out of NA, but it should really be challenging some of these other European teams. So, I think they're really aware of what they need to do.
Yeah, and we had a brief conversation with him because, he kind of heard through the grapevine that we were kind of talking trash, and it was more, we were talking about the motivation aspect of high-paid salaries, and does it demotivate you?
I think that was a bit of misinformation that filtered across the Twitter sphere.
It always happens. And his point was, we're trying things. We're working harder than ever. You're never going to see what we do because we do it in private. But we're working harder than ever. We're trying new stuff. Stop beating on us because we, yes, we lost, but we are motivated. We're doing stuff we've never tried because we know we have to get to the next level. So, credit where credit's due. New roster. Yeah. And like you said, generally when you see Cloud9 and they lose, they end up very happy-go-lucky. If they don't have a chance, they turn into the personalities they are, right?
Yeah.
They have their game faces on. Yeah. They have all weekend. So you can see the shift in their mentality from day one, which I don't know if it's Jordan's beard, he's grown up or whatever, but it's nice to see because...
He must have been so sad when he saw Havoc from Vox. I bet he rocked up thinking, this is the best beard. Oh, no.
Yeah. So, again, let's take a look at the Titan roster. And again, we've talked about him a lot. Existence, Kenny S, Maniac right there in the middle, Apex, and RPK. What's your thoughts on these guys?
Apex, Kenny S, those are the usual suspects, but I think Maniac has definitely been playing very well recently. Also, I've been waiting for RPK to really find that last 5 to 10% in his performance. I think that's going to be very key for them as a team to really get up there fighting for tournament victories. Also, I think the bit of an issue they've had is that it seems like a lot of people talk how they seem to be struggling against teams that are regarded as worse as them. But then again, they're playing very well against the top tier, like tier 1 teams. I think it's more of a fact where it feels like they are better when they have a lot of knowledge on the team that they're playing against, but then they struggle a lot when they're not really sure what to expect and so forth. So in that sense, I think it's going to be interesting, like how much have they really spent time watching Cloud9's games this weekend, and I think this could be a classic example of Titan struggling against a team they are expected to beat.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team which they frustrated me actually for the longest period of time because, again, when you look at the component parts, if you were to say, okay, Envious are the best French team, but out of what's left in the French scene, build a team that can challenge them. And you look at what you need to do that. So you're like, okay, well, we need an amazing strat caller. Existence. When he went from being a flamboyant AWPer to reinvent himself as one of the master tacticians and strategists in Counter-Strike, it's one of the most insane player transformations that's ever happened in any version of Counter-Strike. So he is somebody that you would want as a captain. His insight is ridiculous. Then you would like, well, okay, well, we need an absolutely sick AWPer. Kenny S. When he was on form, again, we probably talking about 5-6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, but he was unplayable. He was hands down. He was the god. When JW had kind of fell off a little bit, it was all about Kenny S on the AWP. Even Guardian and people like that went on his level. And then you're like, okay, well, we also need a mad fragger in there, somebody that can pick up those kills. Well, we've got Apex. He can do that. All right, brilliant. And then you're like, well, you need someone who's got a cool temperament. Well, we've got Maniac. He can do that, and he can chime in with frags. And then it's like, right, now we just need the wild card, somebody who is literally capable of shutting down a bomb site and getting multiple frags. Well, we'll bring RPK in. If he can hit his CSS level, we've got that. Now, the problem Titan have had is they've got all the ingredients, but for some reason, it just never comes together all at once. On its own, very, very tasty. Altogether, something's quite off, It hasn't got the right balance. If they ever find it, people need to watch out because I think Titan can be very good, and especially on, Inferno. They've got maps in their locker they can beat anyone on.
Well, and you bring them up. I got them in my ear. We don't have the whole screen on this one. C9 ends up picking Cash. First map. Second map, Titans pick Inferno.
Right. So on that pick there, I mean, not will back me up on this. The Cloud9 Cash experiment. They are good on Cash. They're very good on Cash. They fancy it on Cash. But the problem is they get really, really close, but they never seem to get over the finish line with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we've even had games on Cash where nothing's dropped 50 frags and they lose it 16-14 or they lose it in overtime,
Yeah.
So, I mean...
At the same time, Titan also favors playing Cash, so...
Yeah. And it's not like they're an easy team to play, and I think that's been the problem. Like, actually, when Cloud9 come to these tournaments, they're picking Cash saying, yeah, we can play this. And they're bouncing up against teams that are actually very good on Cash themselves and making it hard for themselves.
Okay, well, our casters are ready. Our players are definitely ready to get this ready to rock and roll. So, again, once again to our casters desk, we've got Semler and Kyanite. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, Scoots. So, there we have it, guys. It's going to be Cloud9 versus Titan, and this is definitely one of the most exciting matches, I think, just because of how even these teams are going to be. Titan have shown that they are mortal. Kenny is no longer, the godlike AWPer that we expected to see, and he's, for quite some time now, dropped out of shape. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Skadoodle. We were just talking about this. I think that Skadoodle, he's got the upper hand in this matchup.
Well, definitely. We were talking about how yesterday we saw, I think it was on Inferno, where Kenny S, instead of buying up an AWP when he could afford it, bought up an M4, which you noted out as a potential pointer to a significant lack of confidence for Kenny S, or King Kenny as I call him. He's currently lost. Man. Yeah, he's King no longer Kenny, on the throne. Yeah.
You're a monarchist?
No, the reason why I call him King Kenny is because there used to be a football manager called Kenny Dalglish. And King Kenny is sort of like, oh, Semler, why do you do this to me?
I'm just like, okay. Well, King Kenny, God the God, whatever we want to call him. Kenny right now, he's experiencing, how it feels to be mortal, essentially. And so, it's going to be that struggle for him to get back on the top. We have the overview of Cash now. It's going to be the map to start us off here. And as far as the knife is concerned, it has not been sorted out quite yet. So we'll get to see who gets to start on which side. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world regardless. Whichever side these teams start on, they should be comfortable on both. I got the chance to talk over a little bit with Cloud9, this map in particular, how they felt about their performance on it so far, and they really do have quite a few clear ideas. A lot of it is coming down to execution for them. So I'm glad that they're going to get another shot at being able to show us what they're capable of on the map, because they really do have a plan. Now they just need to come down to actually getting all the pieces to come together and make it work properly. So Titan right now, they might just be, that weak enough opponent where Cloud9 can actually, show something good.
It's like what Richard said. I think Nothing dropped a 30 bomb on this map yesterday, but they still lost the map because the rest of his teammates failed to step up. And the thing about Cloud9 is when Nothing plays amazing, if only his teammates could give perhaps that extra 5% just to get them across the finishing line, that could be the difference between 16-14 to the other team or 16-14 to them.
Well, it's like what we've been talking about as far as like a personal level for Nothing. When Nothing is playing amazing, that's when the rest of your team should be playing amazing as well, because it's not every day that Nothing is able to drop these 30 bombs. I mean, he's still capable, but it's still a once in a blue moon kind of thing. So if Nothing is stepping up and dropping those kinds of kills, that's when Cloud9 should be at their most dangerous. That's when everything should just be firing on all cylinders and they should just be mowing over teams. And yet somehow, the Shroud, the Skadoodle, well, I mean, that's the thing. The Shroud, at least, doesn't quite get up there. He's just more of this consistent line. What we're looking at right now, because of this recent roster change, of course, the NA Cuddle, it's just Skadoodle and Freakazoid are the new additions. Skadoodle, we know what he's capable of, and he's shown us what he's capable of. He still seems to have a pretty damn high level. It's Freakazoid that we're all kind of watching and waiting, holding our breath to see, is he going to get back up to that level that he had at the beginning of CSGO when he was actually, wrecking house.
Well, as we know, Freakazoid is very familiar with these players, obviously back from Complexity when he used to play with them. But here we have Cloud9 going incredibly aggressive towards A main. It was Skadoodle trying to get that entry frag, battling against Kenny S, but it looks like you were talking about Cloud9 looking to go for execution play, but it looks like it's going to be Titan who are going to be looking to execute on towards the A-bomb site here.
Yeah, well, this is their style, right? They do actually tend to go for the setup plays, and they've got the smokes as well into this A site. They did spot the man over in NBK corner, so there's a little bit of information there gained, but it is going to be Skadoodle to start things off. Takes out Apex, the entry fragger for Titan. And so far, Titan's still trying to find a way onto the site. They're still trying to spot somebody. And when they do, Maniac gets the kill. Skadoodle is down. It's Nothing still alive on this site. He gets tagged up, however, he's very low, but he does manage to reload, and he's got a teammate there to help him as well. Sean Gare's not going to be able to get much out of it. It is still going to be a man advantage here for Titan.
Oh, it was great play from Kenny S. He is going to plant the bomb, but the nade just about missed him. Freak knows that Kenny S is going to be in and around that plant area, but he's trying to climb up on the red container. And Existence could find himself in a 1 versus 1. He will get the headshot. They're going to know exactly where Shroud is. And the round does indeed go to Titan 1-0.
Well, I should say, everything just went according to plan there. They managed to get over the first hurdle, which was Skadoodle behind the forklift, and then from there on out, they were able to just collapse onto that site. Two players wrapping around very quickly together through Squeak Door onto that site. So even if there were two players trying to establish a crossfire there for Cloud9, one of them died so quickly that the other one couldn't really get in. And then, of course, the short wraparound from Titan. You see everything just falling in place. And this is the difference here between Titan and Cloud9. Titan, they have that polish. They've been together long enough now to refine their plays, their pistol rounds, their executes. Whereas Cloud9, with two new members, they're still trying to figure out all of that out. Who's watching what? Whose tendency is to do what? This is a standard cleanup basically coming in here. Although Sean Gares is doing some tremendous damage here, not going to be able to get the kill, and 4 players survive for Titan, so that's perfectly fine as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, Cloud9 actually stacked that B-bomb site as well, and regardless, even though they only had pistols, obviously the SMGs reigned supreme in that case, so we're probably going to see Cloud9 maybe buy a few 5.7s, stick on P250s, and buy up come the next round. They're not going to force it up. Meanwhile, Titan, Apex is just going to keep the Tech 9, RPK and Kenny with submachine guns, and of course, if they manage to get some frags, as we obviously will expect them to, that'll do their economy a world of good.
Oh, and not a whole lot to speak of essentially here. I mean, Cloud9 kind of leave B site open right now with the focus on mid. They're expecting Titan to send some people through here. With P250s, they could be dangerous. They could be a threat. As far as Shroud is concerned, Maniac with the wall bang through Squeak. That is big. Flash in, however, into Garage, and Sean Garris is going to pick up the first kill there on mid.
Yeah, he will. Apex, though, he knew where Sean Garris was coming from. He's going to take him on with the Tech 9, gets the headshot. Kenny S says, merci beaucoup on the A-bomb site. Double coming in. And now that leaves the man in the tank top, the man with the muscles in Freakazoid all alone. And obviously, Titan more than aware of his position. And they're going to go to the opposite bomb site.
Yeah, so safe plant here, no problem at all for Titan. And still, I mean, with the kills that they're managing to pick up with the SMGs, it's not the end of the world that they're losing these kills either. I mean, Kenny could potentially have the money to go for an AWP right off the bat here in the 4th round buy when it comes up. But a fresh smoke goes down on CT, so Freakazoid, this is pretty much all he can do at this situation. Smoke clears. And he just has to hold these angles and hope that he can actually try and hold somebody onto this site. But he's going to get overwhelmed, and what's worse is it's RPK with that MP7 that gets the kill. So a bonus $300 going into RPK's pocket. We can see him up at $6,400 now in this 4th round, which is a ludicrous amount of money. And RPK, are you really going to hold on to that MP7? I mean, I know you can tap with it. Seriously, like RPK actually uses the SMGs as if they were rifles, but he goes ahead, he gets a rifle instead, so it's not the end of the world. I was about to just, you know, kind of wonder.
So there we go, the Challenger update. Liquid getting a map against Fnatic and getting a point as well.
Well then, redemption for the North American seed.
Now, any of us were expecting that, and there is the opener from Apex onto Shroud on this A-bomb site. It will now leave Sean Gerzel by himself, and as a result of that frag, Cloud9 now need to change their setup. They've rotated an extra man towards A.
And in true Titan fashion, no speed up behind this, taking their time. This is like since time immemorial. Titan, when they get the entry frag, they sit and they wait and they force Cloud9 to sweat. They force their opponents to rotate around to try to make the correct call. Giving up a frag, however, is not part of the plan. So Maniac getting picked off in Squeak Door, that's something that Titan are now going to have to account for. But 2 guys on short here, or no, 1 guy on short, 2 in CT. Sean Gerzel's taking a little bit of a risk, still managing to pick that bomb up. He's going to be able to drop 1 man, runs out of bullets, could get the other one, but Kenny gets the jump shot with the Tech 9. Obscene kill there.
Great play from Kenny, and now Titan, they still need to pick up this bomb, and Kenny not in an ideal situation with this AWP, but Kenny most of the time, regardless what position he's in, he can work magic with that magic stick of his. And Semler, it looks like they're going to go to B, but they're going to run into Skadoodle.
And there's a shot from Skills. He's not going to be able to pick that up. They do manage to go jumping past in that smoke. He misses his timing. Flash is there as well. Full flash. But luckily for him, nothing is there to stop that plant from happening. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. It's ticking down. And there's not going to be enough time here. Nothing wins the round for Cloud9. That is it. That is all he had to do. With 2 seconds left, RPK needs to get the kill. And it's not meant to be this time. Freakazoid will live in CT. RPK gets the shot at the end. So there will be no money saves for Cloud9. But they're on the board.
Yeah, RPK added insult to injury with that frag. And Cloud9 here, interesting decision. They've opted to force up. Obviously, they don't have to buy a helmet because they're only up against the AK-47. Skadoodle, though, only on a 5.7. But they do have a lot of smokes that Cloud9 could potentially use here to cut off areas like mid, maybe push up under boost, cut off areas like A main. But it looks like Freakazoid is going to go aggressive, and he's going to get the headshot. There is the opener. There's first blood for the Americans.
Oh, that's a strong start here in this important round. This round could actually cost Titan, could force them into a bit of an awkward buy situation in the next round if Cloud9 were to pick it up. And Skadoodle, I'm not that concerned about him being on the 5.7. He's already shown that he's quite capable of picking up just an insane number of kills with that pistol. Seems like every time he gets it, he's pulling out a double kill somehow. So, you know, we'll see what Scott's capable of. He could actually get up close, and from the position he's playing on forklift, that 5.7 is lethal. We'll see if Titan decide to head over there, however, because for now at least, they're still kind of setting up to clear out mid, and they're kind of showing, you know, basically that they want to go towards that B site by moving that bomb over into B hulls.
Yeah, Titan left mid control. That will, of course, give Cloud9 the gateway through vents into checkers, which will allow them to attack these CTs on the B bomb site from 2 different avenues. Freak got a headshot onto Maniac, but Apex returns it, and King Kenny comes in with the AWP kill, and the B bomb site is now in Titan's hands. But if they're going to plant this bomb, they've got to get a move on because Cloud9 are hot on their tail.
Moving in right behind them. They're going to be able to go into checker. There's a man there. Look, that's Skadoodle going for the wall bang through. That's going to catch them off guard, and that actually opens things up here. Nothing trying to hunt down. He's got to get across this door, however. So long as Existence is alive, this poses to be a problem. Apex takes out 1, and it's a 2-for-1 trade. Not going to be good enough. Sean Gears needed to get that kill on the man holding on site, and it is not meant to be. And at this point, he's going to walk right into the waiting arms of Apex, who is pleasantly sitting out in B halls for a free kill, and, well, Titan basically keep it from the brink. And this is a catastrophe for Cloud9, essentially. Look at this. They get reset to $1,400. Nothing you can see. He has $1,400. That is all that he has. So it looks like we have a bit of a mic problem coming up on Titan's side. So hopefully it's not going to take too long to sort out. We don't want... essentially, this is going to help Cloud9 more than it's going to help Titan, because Cloud9 want Titan to cool off a little bit here after that round, and Cloud9 now need a little bit of time to talk over what is going wrong here, because this is nearly a double eco situation for them. They might need to come up with something clever to do in the next round to try and catch Titan off guard if they want to invest in some 5.7s and some nades.
Yeah, the main issue for Cloud9 right now, they just haven't been able to accumulate much money to be able to work with. And obviously Titan on the cheaper T side, especially when Kenny has that AWP in hand. It's very difficult to counter, and you need as many defensive nades and so forth as possible. So obviously this will, like you said, this pause will allow Cloud9 to just chat between each other, come up with a different plan of action on how they want to try and stop the Titans making their way into the 2 bomb sites. And it's safe to say that they've had quite a lot of success on both bomb sites based off of what we've seen so far.
Titan are a very capable cash team as well, though. That's the difficult thing, and it was brought up by the analysts before this match, the fact that, you know, sometimes Cloud9, the map that they feel comfortable on, it's what the other team feels comfortable on, and while that other team has a bit more experience on it, or they have players who are hitting harder, any number of things can happen where it's just going to make Cloud9's life a bit difficult. But we're back live into the game now, unpaused, and it is going to be a hard eco here from Cloud9. So they really, I mean, they have a single flash, and they're going to be stacked up over on this B site. Bit of a gamble coming out from Cloud9, all 5 members here, but Titan haven't walked into it quite yet. We'll see when they decide to spring the trap here, or if they're going to have to just haul for the rotate eventually.
Yeah, the vents do belong to Titan now, but there's no CTs on the larger A bomb site. Cloud9 going aggressive. They're going to know that RPK is hiding at Toxic, and Apex, he could either make this work brilliantly, or he could be walking into his grave, and you know what? He's going to make it work great against the eco, and yet again, the B bomb site is in the hands of Titan. And there was not much Cloud9 could have done there with just the pistols. They went for the stack, they guessed on the right bomb site, but they didn't even get a frag.
No, that's the thing. They started pushing around with that. They started to try and, you know, get information, or perhaps try to bait Titan in with that single kill. You know, Sean Gears jumps into B halls. He's like, I'm dead. That's the B defense we can come to the B site, right? And unfortunately, his teammates, yeah, they just couldn't step up and get the kills. Don't think that Cloud9 are going to force here in this situation. It's still early on. We're just now getting into the mid of the half, so if they decide to take the risk and go for FAMASs, I think that would actually be a mistake. And yeah, they're going to stick on P250s for another round. It's very rare these days to actually see teams go for the full double eco like this. You know, usually you'll have teams that are showing a bit more of an envy style of play, where they just, as soon as they pass that $3,000 mark, they're forcing. They're going for some kind of 5-7 combination, even SMGs, so, or scouts, you know, looking at you, MBK. But Cloud9, they will stick to the pistols this round, and it's going to come down to the 8th round essentially for them.
Well, let's see whether the Cloud9 way of play is going to work for them. Kenny S, he's being pushed here from A main. He's down to 44 HP. Maniac will get the headshot through the doors. And Cloud9 here, again, they find themselves pretty much climbing a very, very steep hill. There's not much they can do with just these pistols. Apex will most likely get this frag in Z. No, he won't. So Shroud will pick up... I take that back, there's the commentator's curse. He won't pick up the AK-47. Freakazoid's going to go for it, and if he can salvage this AK, then it might be okay. But Existence, all his years of experience, he knew where that AK was. He knew that final Cloud9 player was going to try and pick it up, and he made sure he didn't.
It's the big wriggly worm on the hook at that point. And Freakazoid, he was a big fish, a trout, you know, just tried to go for it, and it wasn't good enough. Existence was there, and that is going to be another round that Titan, well, they managed to stabilize. They only give up 1. That's not going to be the end of the world for them. Maniac got a chance to pad some stats a little bit, and now we go into the all-important round, essentially, for Cloud9. 8 rounds in, 6-1, Titan in the lead, and Shroud already down to 32 HP, trying to go for the aggro push up the top mid. They've got that triangle going right now because they've got a double AWP play. And look at this boost from Sean Gears. This is not a common position at all. This could really work well. Apart from that flash, however, that's going to hurt things, and Kenny going for a boost of his own over in A halls.
It's now the battle of the AWPers. It's the battle of Kenny versus Sean here towards MBK on the A-bomb site. We can see Kenny S pre-firing that upper spot, almost like he may have spotted a few Cloud9 demos. He knows that it's a spot that a lot of his opponents, particularly AWPers, like to play, hence why he was pre-firing it. But at the moment, Semler, these defensive smokes are just keeping Titan at bay.
And they will run out eventually, and as soon as they do, there it is. Kenny managed to land the shot. Maniac follows up, takes out Freakazoid, who was playing on upper, and this is now going to completely fall apart for Cloud9. Down 2 men, Titan just walking over them right now. And this is a very brutal situation, but with 35 seconds left, they could potentially find Titan making a mistake until they peek into main halls, give Kenny that kill, and it's going to come down to Skadoodle, who misses that shot point blank on a Maniac. Nothing, there really is nothing he can do in this situation. He needs to back off, save his gun, and basically bank on the next round, because that was a free round, as free as it gets for Titan.
Well, again, the issue was that Cloud9, they had so many players in and around that A-bomb site, and they failed to get 1 kill on the CT side. And nothing, he is going to get this entry frag, but the problem now is it will give away his position. There is a Titan player hot on Nothing's tail, and wow, Nothing will still get the headshot. But again, its priority now is to try and save this M4.
That was very nicely done there by Nothing. He's going to get boxed in here, however. Let's see if he can actually land a shot. Does manage to get the follow-up on a Kenny. This is turning into a very expensive round for Titan. Nade combo, nothing with the quad kill so far. And I think we just reached a breaking point. Existence, he sent his troops in. He says, well, you know what? I'm going to have to go and right to recruiting because I need more troops. That's not worth it. I mean, as far as they're concerned, they have so much money, but that is insane. They have to drop 7 grand on Kenny getting an AWP again. Everybody has to full buy. Very expensive hunt there for Titan. That definitely didn't go their way.
Yeah, but Cloud9, obviously nothing held on to the M4. The rest of Cloud9, again, they could have forced bought to perhaps try and level things up, level their economy with nothing, make sure they have a bit of firepower to work with. But no, they've opted to go with the P250s again, and on paper, you'd still expect this to really go A1, but look at this. Nothing has been boosted above mid. He will go round the back of A main and get the headshot onto Maniac. It's 2 players who pushed A main. They've now cleared out that part, but there's no players on B, and I'm sure it will click now for Titan, for Cloud9, sorry, that Titan are indeed heading towards the smaller bomb site.
And they're going to head on in there. Apex manages to make it past onto CT, going to clear out that site, spots nobody there. Shroud in a pre-fireable position, and as I say it, RPK puts a bullet up there just to be safe. Shroud is gone. And that is really just experience on the map right there. Skadoodle goes charging through the smoke, however, picks up a kill, nothing up high, manages to turn this into a 1v2, and then Kenny steps in, manages to land a fairly standard shot for him. So 8 rounds on the board now for Titan. Cloud9 still sitting at 1. And it is now or never, essentially, for them. This is now the point of no return. They have to get past this. They have to stop Titan right here and start getting rounds on the board, get up to 7 rounds on CT side. We could expect to see more, teams actually get up to 8 or 9 rounds on T side, but you have to be fantastic on your own T side. One thing to keep in mind here is that Titan have been a little shaky on their CT side recently on different maps. Not necessarily this one, but in general, it seems like they've been trying to figure things out a little bit more on their CT side, not having Kenny's op to rely on consistently. So there's still hope. There's still a glimmer. But for there to be a chance, Cloud9 need to step up right now.
They certainly do, especially as they are a man down. And Kenny, oh, I think he may have spotted Sean. He's looking for him, but he will fall back. And Sean most certainly living to fight another day. But here, Cloud9, sure, they've got 2 AWP players. Do Titan know that? Most likely do. And Kenny is so close to getting the wallbang onto Sean there. And now Cloud9, they've decided to put all their eggs in one basket. They've got Shroud at mid, 1 player in Skadoodle, who's playing the quick rotate between B, between mid, and between A. And they've got another player who's holding the A bomb side, but it's not going to matter. Existence says see ya to Shroud. Molotov straight into Vents and Skadoodle here. Is he going to wait for backup? Is he going to fall back? Surely something's clicked now that Titan are going to be heading towards B.
Yeah, and that click is basically gamble up on A. If they run onto A, groovy. If they don't, it's fine. We hold on to the AWPs and we survive to fight another round with these expensive rifles. They need to keep both of these alive at this point for Cloud9. So that's the end all be all. Apex is on the hunt here, however, so hopefully they don't. Man,
that was
Skadoodle. Yeah, that's the thing. You're so slow now when you walk around that corner. Sean Gares gets a flick onto Apex. I mean, you're so slow when you walk around scopes like Skadoodle just did, so easy shot for Apex to hit. And that's one of the AWPs now that is down. 4750 that's just been flushed down the drain. RPK is going to round the corner over here. We'll see if Sean Gares can hit that shot. Yes, he will. Fairly clean work from him. And Sean, you don't need to peek again. That he does, and Kenny is there. So, Bomb didn't even have, I mean, that was also just an extremely long time for him to try and hold because Apex got the information that he needed.
So Titan, again, the money's flowing. We've got Kenny S alone on over $10,000 and Existence almost on $12,000 as well. In Cloud9 now, they've lost so many rounds in a row that they have gotten a small economical boost, but they still have to sell with only FAMASs. They've not got enough defensive smokes. They've not got enough defensive Molotovs. But it makes you wonder whether Sean Gares, Skadoodle, and, well, Sean Gares and Skadoodle could have saved a bit more money by going only for armor, maybe then leaving the helmet out and investing in a proper M4, but whatever floats their boat in this case, it's their decision.
It's more like nades. Nades and a kit. They don't have any kit right now. They don't have any nades. You need nades to hold people out of sights, especially on cash. They're so important. Smoke goes down in B halls, so that's going to buy a little bit of time, but Kenny pre-firing that spot. Well, not pre-firing, but pre-aiming. And that's perfectly fine as well, because you do see teams, they have a tendency, some players have a tendency to do that. And we've already seen Cloud9 play cash today, or at least there is a map to go off of, so Titan have recent information, and Skadoodle's been doing that a lot on the A site. So Kenny, he did his homework, and he is able to pick up a kill there. Pop flash in. Going to be effective enough to actually force the turn on Apex, and he gets picked up fairly easily there by Freakazoid. So for the first time in a long time, Cloud9 have an advantage in the round.
And it'd be so disappointing if they can't take advantage of what they've been gifted by the CSGO gods. Got Maniac. They're going to hear him open this door. Has Freakazoid not heard him? He has now, but he will get the headshot. But Titan, are they going to head towards A or are they going to head towards B? Existence, his leash has been let loose at mid. He's pushing up. The CTs know this. Existence nails Shroud in the head. Goes for Sean Gares, but with only 9 seconds to go, RPK has no decision but to try and plant. He's only on 22 HP, and now Sean just has to play this smart. Try and figure out where exactly RPK is hiding on this bomb site. But he doesn't realize that RPK, they're stood right next to each other and RPK wins it. What was Sean doing? Sean should have done better there, especially after he heard the bomb going down.
He was gambling. He was looking towards the right. I mean, it's just 50-50 shot at that point, whether RPK walks left or right. Just no luck there for Sean, essentially. RPK chooses to walk around the site, and he gets shot in the side of the face. 10 rounds now on the board for Titan, 1 round for Cloud9. What are you going to do if you're Cloud9, though? I mean, at the end of the day, they're playing right now, but they aren't. And Freakazoid as well, that was a blow to him because he gets caught between a rock and a hard place. He knows there's a man in Squeak, and he knows they're pushing through main. He's in the worst possible position. He gets caught out. It's just these little positioning decisions made by Cloud9 that are getting them punished. Sean Gares, though, does pick up a nice kill there onto Maniac, so that's going to start things off strong for Cloud9. Once again, they have a bit of an advantage until Kenny brings it back. Sean getting caught in that corner. There we go. The aggressive Freakazoid that we need to see for Cloud9 steps in, brings it right back Cloud9's way.
Nothing. Into Checkers. Headshot onto Apex. He knows from that flash that someone else is lurking by, so close to terminating him. And we were calling him the tank yesterday. And let's see whether he can live up to that expectation. He can't, and finally Cloud9 can smile. They've got another round on the board. And look, if they can still salvage 10-5 out of this, maybe, just maybe, if they win the second half pistol, it won't be the end of the world for them just yet.
Exactly right. I mean, it's not over quite yet. Cloud9 could be very capable on the T side, and like I said earlier, Titan a little bit shaky on CT right now, so it's definitely not over until there's 16 rounds on the board for one of these teams. Look at this aggressive push by Freakazoid. He was feeling it. He wanted to go through that smoke, and he very nearly pulled it off. Existence only living with 12 HP, so a very close call there. But Cloud9, that's going to make them suffer a little bit. Great damage being dealt, however, with the AGs. Kenny down to half, and Apex close by. So this is still a decent situation for Cloud9. They could come out ahead here. They just have to deal with Maniac and Squeak. He needs to stop traumatizing them over there on that A site.
And he's done very well in doing that so far. Bomb has been left at mid. And Titan just taking it nice and slow. But we saw Cloud9 do this before. And it is going to be Shroud who's going to be boosted. But no, Existence waited. He waited and then got the headshot onto Shroud. And that will further split this Cloud9 defense.
The timing was there. Sean making noise on the ladder as well. And let's see. There's the peak. Readjusts. And now does he get the timing right? It's down to Maniac. And Maniac peeks out just in time to avoid it. So we're back to a bit of a standstill here. 3 players left for Cloud9. And Skadoodle, he's going for that peek, spots the man in Cubby, picks up that shot, is able to fall back behind that smoke as well. He's going to be able to change up his position onto this A side. Skadoodle, it's your time to shine. It's your moment now, and you could make the difference. They're all just basically going to start bum rushing onto this site. They line up for him, and there you go, Skadoodle. 2 kills, brings it back, and Maniac in Existence so very low. Shot up short, however, and now nothing knows. He's got everything he needs. He knows that there's a man on the site, there's a man on short. And he has to figure it out. Spots Maniac, drops that bomb, and he just needs to hightail it. If he runs away, he wins the round. There's no time for the bomb plant. Very well done there by Nothing. But most importantly, the damage being dealt by Skadoodle. 3 kills for him in that round.
Yeah, really interested that the actual player who went towards the A bomb site didn't go straight to the plant. Maybe he didn't know about the time and Existence. Maybe, I guess you can argue that he should have sped things up. He was the one with high HP. He was the one with the M4. Maybe try and clear out the bomb site for the planter because they needed to get that bomb down. Otherwise, the time would have run out. But instead, he showed too much flesh. He was very low on HP. He didn't prioritize planting the bomb. And you know what? Nothing doesn't miss shots like that. And finally, Semler, I think this is the first time we've actually seen Titan on an eco.
Yeah, they've managed to, well, eco, I mean,
well,
force buy basically, yeah. Right? You know, it's like there's no such thing as ecos anymore, apart from when Cloud9 go for like the P250s, right? These days, Tech 9s, you're perfectly fine, you're perfectly lethal with it. And Skadoodle, though, he manages to pick up a kill over in A main, right? So this is now going to set it up. Apex straight up short, and there you go. Catches Skadoodle out. There's a second man alive on this site with one supporting from CT, so this is still possible for Cloud9 to recover from. Shroud, nothing, and Freakazoid fairly low, however, and there's still the 2 rifles for Titan. They still have RPK, they still have Existence, but the timing is perfect! Freakazoid comes out of nowhere in CT and takes out Existence. Kenny S is now all alone. But if they close up on him close here, but this Tech 9, oh, look at this. Does he hit the timing right? Does Nothing jump in? Yes, he does. He gets spotted. And that's all Nothing wanted to do, actually. Just get eyes onto short and see if they could pick out where Kenny was playing from.
Yeah, and he has to make a decision now. He has picked up this M4. He has armor and the Tech 9. So in theory, he has invested quite heavily into this round. But it does look like he is going to go for it.
If he does catch-all approach.
He's got 20 seconds to go. And at this tempo, I'm not too sure whether he'd be able to pick up the bomb, especially because he's got to try and take out 3 of these Cloud9 players. He might just be looking for an aggressive Titan, Cloud9 player to maybe get an exit frag and bag a bit of money, and obviously force Cloud9 to have to rebuy with an extra player, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is some next level play now from Kenny. It's basically stay alive, hold on to the gun, hold on to the Tech 9, keep whatever you can for the last round here. Goes for a little bit of a wallbang at the end. He's down to $100, but he's got his Tech 9. He can drop that for somebody else and make sure that he has the Kevlar. That means that they can have some extra nades to work with here, or even go so far as to get a Galil Kevlar. Existence has 3,600 in the bank, so there are options here for Titan in this last round. Existence going for the Tech 9. Really, is Kenny not going to pass that? Okay. Well, there's a little bit of, there were some options, but this is what Titan elect to go for. I think that they're just feeling perfectly in control right now with 10 rounds on T side, so they're having a good time.
Skadoodle missing the AWP shot, very unlike him. RPK going big with the Tech 9. You say he loves to tap with these weapons, Semler, and he tapped to perfection there on the A bomb site. RPK picking up an M4 as a result. Apex says thank you very much and takes an M4 as well. And because they all bought armor, this is almost like Apex and RPK have gone for a proper buy. They have the firepower to take on the rest of Cloud9, and Cloud9 now at a 2-man disadvantage. If Titan win this one, what a round.
This is it. I mean, this is how lethal they can be. Nothing getting caught out in that smoke. He spots out the man, boosted up, but he's not going to be able to get that frag. Skadoodle, however, alive with that AWP on the A site. Long distance shot onto Maniac, and he will be able to pick that up. Already, the rotation coming out from Nothing, however. He's going to be in CT, but the smoke goes down. Perfect smoke as well. He's not going to be able to do a thing about this, and he could very well get into that pre-fire spot again, but they don't even care. Oh, Molotov is there, and that... Somehow Apex finds that shot regardless. I thought that for a moment there might be a chance for Nothing to have an impact. It's going to be Skadoodle now 1v3, and he walks right into a headshot from Existence. Anticlimactic finish to this round and to this half. 11-4. Titan just completely demolishing the North American team, Cloud9.
Yeah, great play from Titan. Very unlike Shroud as well. Only 5 frags for him. He normally plays superb alongside Nothing on Cash, but Titan... Such a solid T-side from them. Now going into the second half, Cloud9, they really need to win this pistol.
Trace, you can see the whites of his eyes. Look at that focus. Then come back to us.
And then the focus
hey,
of
everybody. Yeah, so, I mean, there isn't a whole lot to be said, essentially. Just Cloud9 at the beginning, clearly their heads weren't in the game. Every fight they took, they lost, essentially. When that's happening, it doesn't matter if you have the best strats in the world. Any team in the world will roll over you. So it seems like Cloud9, they were able to get a little bit going, but by then, Titan, once they get the bit in their teeth, once they get that confidence and that control, it's so difficult to deal with. And they are a very good cash team as well. That's something that needs to be said. But going into the second half now, Cloud9, they have a shot at it. They could bring this back. If they can pick up this pistol, anything is possible. So let's see. Going into it now, minute 30 left, and they've gathered up in the B halls. The one lurker on the other side, he's going to be trying to cause a little bit of a distraction here. That is Nothing. And only one man showing himself, although they are changing up positions, so you don't want to give too much away there, Cloud9. You don't want to give Maniac too much to work off of. Look at this play from Titan, though. They've gathered up all on the B site. I mean, this could be the hard counter right here.
Yeah, it's almost like they're telepathic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They're setting up for the pop flash, though. So 2 guys are going to go running around that corner extremely quickly. Maniac turns in time, though. The reactions on Maniac. And this is just a bait and switch. 1-for-1 trade, though. That's not good enough. And now RPK manages to chime in. The stack is working to perfection now. A little bit of a bump in the road. But RPK and Maniac, they stabilize. And before Cloud9 can fully commit with that bomb, they manage to back off. But the damage is done.
Damage is done, and Titan more than aware of what's going on. Unless Nothing can get at least 1 frag here, he's going to get ganged up on by 2 players. He's got to fall back to short and try and stay alive. At least try and make sure that Skadoodle plants this bomb. If Skadoodle can get this bomb down, even if they lose this round, it might very well allow them to buy up on the third round, which is most likely the approach they're going to take. Unless Skadoodle can clutch, of course. Superb headshot coming in. We've got Apex, who's very low on HP. Pulling the trigger is Skadoodle, but the Titan players are close by, and he does unfortunately hit the floor, and the defuse comes in
with the defuse kit, so there will be time. Skadoodle, he did the best that he could in that situation. Nothing as well. You know, I was wondering if he had any nades left, but he had used everything in a fake, so there wasn't anything left for him essentially. And when you take that kind of stand-up fight, when you have no Kevlar, that's the issue. You're facing two P2000s. I mean, you're just going to get aim punched into oblivion. That's what we saw happen with nothing. And, well, Titan in a perfect position here to just continue to press forward. I love this from Cloud9, though. The true no-fear moment. Skadoodle just had enough to drop that AK for nothing. Now we have a fully equipped nothing, and it's the force buy from Cloud9. This is them attempting to catch Titan off guard.
I want to see how they use Skadoodle here. They could perhaps use him, for example, to try and push one bomb site by himself or push mid, try and get the information, but at the moment, it looks like they're going to try and use nothing to make something out of a potential entry here at mid. Just searching right, searching left, trying to see if he can spot a glimpse of one of these Titan players. And this AK-47 could do a heck of a load of damage up against these CTs.
He needs to be aware, though. This is a very common hold. This is a very common setup for Titan. They love to go for this. Titan, I mean, Apex holding up close to boost, RPK and Vents. Cloud9, if they've done their homework right, they know that this is a play that they will have to check for versus Titan. And we'll see. I mean, it's coming time. 50 seconds left. And there we go. Good. Nothing's already pre-aiming on Vents. He goes for the HE, but it's the worst possible timing. And Apex shoots them both out. RPK lives. Insult to injury. And it's going to be the rush onto the A site. Kenny already shutting them down. The timing for RPK to peek as nothing goes for an HE. And Apex gets a quad kill in the round. I mean, that is pain. That is agony.
Not just a quad kill, but a quad kill with the MP7 as well, which is why his money is so healthy right now. And to add insult to injury, he picked up the AK-47 that nothing bought, and Cloud9 now, pretty much two of them on Glocks. Well, no, yeah, one of them on a Glock. That is going to be Skadoodle, because he wants to save as much as he can to buy the AWP, because he is, of course, Cloud9's main AWP player, and the rest of the guys with a P250. But again, on paper here, Semler, you just... Can you really see Titan losing this one with this, when you consider how much firepower they have?
Yeah, at this point, no. Just because it's going to be, they're going to have such a huge cushion to play with Titan. They have so much room for error. They'll be up on 14 rounds after this round unless there's something magical that happens from Cloud9 here. Headshot onto Kenny. That's not going to be, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world here. There's still Maniac alive on this site. Man rotates in on short as well. That's Maniac dropping the bomb, getting a second kill onto Skadoodle. There's the man in Squeak Door trying to put up a fight as well, but Shroud gets cleaned up by Maniac. Maniac is like, what, you're going to try and beat me from my own position? Come on, time for a nap, son. Take a nap. Like, there's nothing done. Cloud9, though, now, this is it. 10 rounds separating them. Titan up on 14 rounds, 4 rounds here for Cloud9. And, well, it's going to be full AKs, some nades, and now we get to see exactly what Cloud9 have in store for us here. They had the right idea the last time they had guns, so we'll see if they can get a proper read again.
Well, you said that Cloud9 told you they were going to be looking to pull off executions, but they just do not have enough smokes to do it. RPK gets the first blood kill onto Shroud. Skadoodle quick to return it, though. Apex, no fear, pushing straight up mid. Knew exactly where Skadoodle was because RPK told him, and now Freakazoid is going to try and even it out at 3 versus 3. He'll have called out there is someone in Z, but obviously what Cloud9 don't know now is that there is going to be someone on short, and they've got Kenny S with the AWP in quad. Any of these Cloud9 players pop up in main, I'm sure Kenny S will pull the trigger and send them back to T-spawn.
Oh, that is awkward. The timing there, nothing, still holding this position, looking, hoping that somebody's going to peek from behind Forklift once again, but that position is now opened up. Nobody there, nobody waiting. Instead, it's going to be a man holding solo on the site. And that is Kenny with that AWP. This could get brutal. Flash there. Apex changed it up, but Kenny lands the first shot onto nothing. He's going to chain it up as well. Existence over on that B site. Alone. Wondering, hey guys, I want some frags too. I want some action. Freakazoid decides to take the fight to them and takes out Apex. Hunts down Kenny as well and gets the bomb plant to boot. Maniac, though. 2-on-2 scenario, and he's already up in A main. This could be brutal. There it is. But Sean Garrett somehow hits the shot. 4 HP left on him.
They brought Freakazoid in to be their entry fragger, and it was him alongside Sean who managed to get the entry onto this bomb site, which opened everything up completely. But both Sean and Freak here very low on HP. But Existence, out goes the flash. He's going to hold on to this defuse. Pros don't fake, and Titan, oh, Freakazoid No, it was defused.
Titan wins the round.
Titan win 15-4. And so unlucky, but genius play from Existence, and he was so fortunate that he had those nades as well. And I'm pretty sure after that, Semler, Cloud9 are just going to be shaking their heads.
Yeah, look at nothing. Look at how long it's taking them to buy right now. That's going to hurt. Nothing. Skadoodle, they've got a full buy, so they do have the guns that they need, Cloud9, but do they have the spirit after that? Do they have the will? That is brutal. The closest second, I mean, that was dead on right there. It could have gone either way, it feels like.
Mustn't forget as well that this was Cloud9's pick, and the next map is going to be Inferno. And Titan, again, so solid on that map.
A long history there for Cloud9 as well. Always trying to force Inferno, but never quite able to get the map to work for them. So we'll see. Second map could be more of the same. It's going to come down to whether Cloud9 can weather the storm, essentially. Titan, I mean, perfect control. RPK picks off nothing already to start. And so now it gets awkward. Apex is going to set up for the jump, and he fails it. Apex, come on, man. Got to get on those jump maps. JW succeeded in that jump the other day, bro.
3 AKs and 1 AWP for Cloud9 as they look to try and sniff out a frag, and there it is, the entry fragger again in Freakazoid, but he wasn't expecting Titan to play with 2 players up close on mid. But Sean, he is going to flash into B. They're probably going to plant here, but the question at hand is, do they know Existence is here in checkers? And Apex is going to be coming in through the vent. Superb crossfire from Titan. Quick to pounce on the tail of Cloud9. And they're going to eventually run out of nades here. Those smokes are going to try and hold off Titan. But 3 versus 1. Skadoodle has a lot of work to do. And that's hopefully the start of it. Nade goes out. He's just waiting for these Frenchies to appear. Double from Skadoodle. He's only got 1 more to get on Maniac. Bomb is ticking at Skadoodle. 3 versus 1. And hopefully now that makes up for the last round, and they can use that to spur themselves on. They mustn't let their heads drop. Who knows, 15-15, or is it too early to call?
I think it's too early to call right now. Anything is possible in CS. That's the beauty of the game, but 10 rounds is a lot, especially on the least favored side. On the less favored side, that was magnificent. That's the kind of play that they need from Skadoodle. The fact that he picks up 3 like that from the back of the side, plays it perfectly. And now we need to see more of the same. Kenny, they're going to set up for a bit of the fun boost. Been a while, actually. We haven't seen Maniac go into this position yet this map, so first time. Of course, we haven't seen that many CT rounds out of Titan. But this is one of his favorite spots on the map. It's also another spot, basically, like Apex below boost. You need to worry about Maniac up boosted here, basically, on the A side. 3 players on this A side as well for Titan, so they really are trying to go for a bit of a read, bit of a gamble, seeing as how this is an eco for them.
Got to be careful, like you said. 3 CTs now on the A-bomb site. Existence playing mid. Very passive, just from in front of the truck. It's almost like Titan, again, like they did on the pistol round, they were expecting Cloud9 to head towards the B-bomb site. And this time round, by the looks of things, they're probably going to try and split A. If these Cloud9 players go up short and Apex just pokes his head out with his P250, he could be in a great position to capitalize, and that's most likely what's going to happen.
Now, timing is going to be everything here. There's nothing looking behind him. There is a man watching his back as well. Skadoodle and lands that shot instantly. Freakazoid, Shroud, everybody getting a piece of the action. Shroud with 2, and now the last man dancing as best he can. Existence with that deagle gets naded down to 40 HP. A lot of damage dealt there. And now, question is whether Cloud9 are going to be silly enough to hunt him, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Existence already backing off, trying to change up his angle. He might head into connector into mid, perhaps. But for now, he waits. And that, basically, that's just Cloud9. Perfect execution, straight up short as well. There's very little that Maniac can do from his position boosted up. I mean, that's basically the hard counter to it. If you walk up short, first thing you're going to spot is a man up on top of those boxes. So just fairly ineffective setup there for Titan in the end. Shroud to pick up the last kill there. So, makes it 100,001 frags with that AK, I guess.
I was really impressed with how Skadoodle was aware that obviously Apex could have pushed through Z. He stayed back and he watched his teammates back. Even I missed him, and we can obviously see everything. So Cloud9, they've still got those weapons they had in the last round, but Titan, money is still tight here. But we know these FAMASs can be effective, particularly in the hands of players of Kenny S and Apex's quality. But the question at hand is, are Cloud9 going A or are they going B? It's looking like a B. Apex, though, does put it numerically in favor of the French, but Sean Gares with a headshot onto RPK. And let's see whether Existence can hold the incoming attack.
He's so powerful at playing this position right here. Kenny is also going to be able to come in through the vents, and they are gathered up. Skadoodle and Sean Gares back to back. the Fighting Ninjas, essentially. And Skadoodle, we'll see if he can actually bring some of the same magic over here. He gets spotted out, and now the wallbang comes through, and they're going to try and sneak their way out. Skadoodle giving away. Sean, does he chuck that bomb up to him? Or does he actually attempt to fall back through B right now? I mean, seems like they want to commit to the B site regardless. What is the play here?
Maybe he's just sending Skadoodle to see if he can get a pick onto A. Sean Gares has fallen back now, and he's probably going to just wait at mid. Just trying to sniff out and use Skadoodle's AWP to see if he can catch anyone hiding at MBK or at Quad. And he could do, but Kenny isn't showing any of himself unless Skadoodle peeks him now.
He needs to look back to Quad boxes. He has no idea. He checks boost, but now the man is on the site. The timing, this is atrocious. There it is, the shot, and he doesn't get it. Ska counting on the man on site, not peeking him, will not be able to survive. Kenny S, Maniac cleaning up the remaining 2 frags, and that is the first map going to Titan, and a very solid bit of work there from them as well. Just dominant play, and we have to remind everybody that when it comes to the rounds, every round matters in the case of a tie in a round robin group like this, because it'll go head to head, but then it'll go to round difference, and so Titan needed a clean win. They needed just a dominant performance, and 16-6, that's perfectly fine.
Exactly, and Cash is a map, obviously, even back in Source, used to be played a lot more in NA than it used to be in Europe, and that's understandable as to why a lot of these players are more familiar with Cash, and even in 1.6. But like you said, the main issue here for Cloud9 was that they chose Cash as their more favoured map, and even though as an NA team they favour Cash, Titan, the French, Cash is an extremely strong map for them as well. And that's the problem. You need to have more options when you know that your opponents are as strong as Titan are on Cash.
Yeah, it also comes down to the bans. And, I mean, basically, let's see, Team 2, that was Dust 2, and that was Overpass. Bit of a rough thing. Cobblestone was banned out as well by Cloud9. So left Train in the mix. They could have tried for it, but I think that I think anything is possible, essentially. We go into Inferno next, guys, so that's going to be the solution here. We'll see if they are able to come back into it. But we're going to go ahead and take a very short break. Few minutes time, and we'll go into the second map in this best of 2 between Titan and Cloud9.
I'm on it.
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 All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. And this is putting you on the spot, bro. Actually, it didn't even occur to me. I was just like, you know what? There's something happening, and then all of a sudden I see myself on the camera, on the thing, and then I know, okay, when I see myself, I have to talk. So there you go, right? Welcome back, everybody. So we're going into our second map in this best of 2. Before last best of 2 of the day, essentially here for the mainstream. And so far, Titan are in the lead 1-0. Having 1 cash, we're going to go into Inferno next. And there's a long and fraught history between these two teams on this map in particular, although it almost goes back to one of the most exciting maps that we've had. And that was when Cloud9 were still Complexity. And then Titan were still Varigames. That was like the first major, a long time ago.
Yeah, it's similar to what you said as well on Inferno. Cloud9, even at majors, they always seem to pick it, almost like they always feel confident on Inferno, and then when it just comes to executing, it just never seems to pay off for them. And I really hope it doesn't happen to him this time round, but up against the Titans who are Titan, who love their Inferno, who are so strong on Inferno, even some of these players back from their CS Source days. And it's not just that, but again, this is a new Cloud9 lineup. It's almost like they, based off what we just saw on Cash, they need a bit more time to sort of gel together, but who knows what might happen.
Yeah, no, a lot of it comes down to the mid control, essentially. I mean, A-Site I used to think for a little bit that A-Site was going to be this weak spot because really it counted a lot on that 1-2 combination punch. Maniac was up on balcony a lot, and he was always very flexible as far as, flexible as far as getting the kills there, inflexible as far as his positioning, because it was pretty much like, he's in balcony, guys. You might want to check up there. So, Maniac up there, but it was always this 1-2 combination punch of Kenny and Apex basically controlling mid. Kenny with the AWP, holding from Arch, pushing mid, holding that line in mid. This allowed Apex basically to have some freedom to either push mid, go into second mid, all sorts of combinations there. That was a really dangerous thing about Titan on this map in particular, so that's why teams, they were a little bit leery about playing Titan on Inferno just because of the power of Kenny. The fact that Kenny is no longer offering us such a show and basically not getting 30 frags a map anymore means that I felt like the A-Site defense kind of took a pretty strong hit there. The man who stepped up, however, to plug that basically was Maniac. He's the one now who all of a sudden who's coming in on that site and just wrecking house. So I was thinking, well, A-Site's going to suffer a little bit, but then Maniac comes to the fore, and that B-Site tag team between Apex and Existence, that's certainly working very well over on the B side, because now, since the Kenny change, they've had to make changes to how they hold on CT side Titan. It's no longer RPK in Existence on the B side the way it was before when Apex and Kenny would work together on A. Since Kenny kind of slumped, Apex is now over on the B side with Existence, and he's actually playing, the solid B side hold. So it's like just lots of change happening, basically, lots of change. So it's hard to tell like exactly where Titan are going to be right now in this map.
And this is the thing, because of the changes, I want to see how they play B. Are they going to smoke the bottom of it and push down, play a very aggressive setup? Like you said, we're normally used to seeing Kenny S pop flash out of mid, use that AWP, try and strafe and get the entry frag. Yeah. But with the new AWP nerf, and like you said, he's not exactly feeling as confident as before at the moment. We're going to have to wait and see how they decide to
I mean, there's a logic. You can see the logic for it as well. Apex has got a lot of experience on this map in particular. He's got a lot of experience. They put RPK in short because that's usually the position that you're just going to put your mad fragger in. You're going to say, here, you don't really have to worry about too much. You kind of worry about boiler, and you worry about setting up a crossfire with your mates. That's pretty much it. And you fall back to pit if things hit the fan. So it's great to have RPK there because he's always been a little bit flaky still on the mechanical side of things as far as timing, rotation, etc. But he can get kills, right? So you put him in short, you let him just lock down that position. He'll do a great job at it. Fantastic. Maniac is holding balcony apartments. That works too. And then Kenny, of course, once he gets that AWP, holds Arch, looks into mid, dominates that line right there. So you can see the reasoning all behind like what they're doing Titan on that A site. B site, it's really just coming down to Apex, you work well with me, buddy. Existence doesn't want to leave the B site. So they're just going to kind of tag team do it there as far as, who's going to play rotator role and who's going to head over to that A site when they want to leave one behind. Usually you'll have Existence left behind on the site, but sometimes they seem to change it up.
So, the 9th round. Obviously, a map like Inferno is more CT-sided, so if you do win the 9th round, most of the time you do want to start on that more favoured CT side and go into the second half with a solid 10 to 11 rounds. But,
don't plant the bomb, nothing, really.
Yep, he's planting.
Get out.
Poor observer's trying to find him.
You're not actually allowed to plant the bomb, bro.
I think he knows that one of these CTs is low. He's trying to split them up.
This is brilliant. He tries to go for it. He goes for the stab instead of the slice, and he will get caught. So it will be Titan choosing which side they want to start on. Imagine they're going to want to stay. Yeah, Kenny S calls for the stay immediately. This is the favorite side. I mean, some people even said that Inferno was. I mean, there was a bit of an opinion for a while that Inferno was a more CT-sided map than even Nuke, and that a solid CT team can just flat out dominate on this map, just completely lock teams out. So we'll see. I mean, now we see Titan in their huddle. Existence. I mean, basically, Existence, the mastermind, although he has been getting a lot of help from Maniac. You see the man second on the left. He's been helping a lot with the mid-round calls, basically feeding information to Existence. If Existence doesn't call for something, Maniac will fill in that role. Apex also giving information. And Kenny and RPK kind of just like doing their thing. Kenny has a lot of freedom on Titan to move around, basically. But the two minds, it's Existence and Maniac. Those are the guys calling the shots for that lineup. And so far, I mean, we've just seen a complete and utter 180 out of Maniac. It's a real pleasure to see because for the longest time, I mean, he had a solid like 2 to 3 month slump where it was just like brutal. He wasn't getting frags. He was struggling with positioning. He was trying to find something that he could do correctly, and then the community was just slamming him as well. So it was this dark pit that he was in. But somehow, I suppose it was just like one thing falls off, which is Kenny. That gave Maniac the space to rise, and all of a sudden he was able to. Now he's like the point man for the team. He's the man who's top fragging most of the time. He's the man who's actually setting it up.
Yeah, he's playing very consistent recently, and it was a bit downhearting when, for example, he tweeted out saying that the criticism is sort of getting to him, and we never want to see that in Counter-Strike or any sport, to say the least.
Well, it's like criticism. I mean, basically, he needed to grow some extra tough leather, like skin, basically, and that's he survived the trial by fire. And now he's through, and he should be getting some praise. I mean, granted, sometimes his kills can be a little bit easier because he tends to play that lurk role, and so he's going to catch people out of position, right? He's going to catch them running in the open. These sorts of things, sure, that's unavoidable. But a lot of the times, especially on CT side, he's got he'll hold the A site basically on Cash. Here, he'll be holding that balcony, holding short. A lot of teams tend to rush up short. A lot of their plays will come through apartments or short. So, that's also a key position to be holding. So they're giving him the big roles, basically saying, like, listen, you're kind of the linchpin here. You need to hold. And he's been stepping up to the fore and actually executing. So we've seen a complete reversal from Maniac. It's really excellent to see. And luckily that actually happened, because if he didn't step up right now, I mean, without Kenny firing on all cylinders, if Maniac wasn't there, basically, it would have been I don't think we would see this level of Titan at all. I think that they would drop down to like the 9th or 10th rank in the world, basically, without Maniac really stepping up right now. So it's good to see.
Yeah, I want to see as well this Cloud9 T side, how they do. We've got to bear in mind that they are a new lineup. Freakazoid was only brought in recently, but it's worth saying that on Cash, even though obviously it was quite a one-sided score at the end of Cash, his entry points, I think, were his entry frags, were very impressive at times. So entry frags, particularly on a map like Inferno, which is more CT-sided, once he gets the AK-47 in his hands, he's going to have to be on point and try to lead his team to victory. And let's see whether it is going to be Freakazoid who is going to be top of the scoreboard come the end of the game.
And so far, he's been showing he's been having some flashes there of greatness, Freakazoid. He has been getting some kills in that entry frag role. He seems to have a bit of a happy style where he likes to push through that smoke, hit that timing, and just go in guns blazing. So we'll see. I mean, T-side start for Cloud9. And if they don't get this pistol, it's going to be very tough for them. I mean, mentally, it's going to just be damning, because they did not get anything done on Cash. So if they get a rough start here on Inferno, where it's almost harder to get T rounds, where it's quite a bit harder to get T rounds, it's going to be a real struggle for the North American team. And they just happen to be walking into a very standard setup for Titan. As far as Titan are concerned, they tend to go for 3 on B early on until they get some kind of info. They'll play retake otherwise, and it is looking like it might have to shape up into a retake situation here, because Cloud9, they've got a flash and a smoke, and they're looking like they want to go A.
Yeah, going A. It's going to end up being 5 versus 2, because only 2 of these Titan players are here on this bomb site. Kenny S holding Arch. He now knows that they're going to be coming, and the call comes in, the rotation comes in. Maniac, you know what? He's going to show himself, and he's spraying and praying with that USP, trying to get the kill. Kenny S, great headshot. Maniac spots the bomb going down, can't stop it from being planted, but great play from Maniac. Maybe 2 months ago, we may not have been able to see Maniac do something like that.
Yeah, that was so sick on so many levels. Big plays from him. He nearly stopped that bomb from being planted. That would have been lights out right there for Cloud9. In the meantime, Cloud9 are getting brutalized right here. Apex manages to overwhelm nothing, so that's one of the low players down. Freakazoid down to 22 HP, and Skadoodle in the pit as well. Existence hunts down Freak, and it's going to be Skadoodle. He faces a wall of guns, however, and he is not going to make it out in one piece. Kenny will have the kit, and they're not going to have the time. I'm amazed. They are not going to have the time. They don't actually pull it off. Cloud9, split second, actually managed to buy enough time to keep them off of that bomb. That's a massive gaffe by Titan. The fact that they had 3 players alive, how was Kenny not on that bomb earlier?
So unlucky as well. It was such a solid retake. Maniac, again, considering that Titan stacked the B bomb site, and he's trying to buy time for his teammates to rotate in. The fact that he got 2 out of the 5 incoming players was really, really, really good. But unfortunately, the bomb was planted really early, and it did go off in the end. So it is going to be a round to Cloud9. They're going to buy these submachine guns, of course. And Titan, on the other hand, they've invested into this as well. RPK with the shotgun. And I think one of his teammates must have dropped that for him, and Kenny, perhaps.
RPK, yeah, he's got the shotty. Let's see if he gets anything done with it. I mean, trying to hold up close on Arch. If they go for the wrap around Cloud9, they're going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening here. But Cloud9 are playing this they're playing this very well right now. Patient, measured, that's all they need to do. They get control of top banana. Well, actually, I'm curious, did they go so far as to get control of car? Did they clear out sandbags? Excuse me.
I'm not sure. I don't think I saw them clear out sandbags, but they are going to leave a few people on banana with the bomb, which is probably where they're going to be heading. 2 people going around Arch as well, heading towards Maniac, so they're probably going to try and split towards this B bomb site. And yep, there we go. The submachine guns win over the pistols. Nothing, just trying to spot over the smoke, see if he can see something. Sean Gares with the headshot as well. And once these players run in, they're going to have Existence and RPK to deal with.
Molotov is going down as well into oranges. Apex might get toasty. He's got 37 HP and the bomb at his feet. And they will rush him down eventually. Actually, that was a team kill on a Skadoodle as well. That Molotov, it wasn't Apex that got the kill. The final tick actually did it. And Skadoodle gets roasted by his own teammate. Horrible. What a horrible fate. Friendly fire. Literally.
So we'll see what decision Cloud9 make. Obviously, Freakazoid going for that AK-47. He's got to be careful not to lose it, though, and give it to one of the CTs, because especially if it's in the hands of someone like Apex or RPK, it could come back to haunt Cloud9.
So far, everything going according to plan for Cloud9, though. Gotta say, this is the start they were looking for. They managed to survive the second round bye from Titan. They suffered some losses, but it's not the end of the world. I think as far as Cloud9 are concerned, they just need to get rounds on the board. They just need to get some confidence, some wind beneath their wings. You know, the Freedom Bird has to spread its wings right now, and it's got to learn how to fly. They just, well, you know, they took a beating on Cash, but there was just a crack in the shell. Well, Cloud9 are fighting to break out of that shell right now.
Let's see if the Freedom Bird is going to fly. There's Bomb heading towards the A bomb site. The mass majority of the Cloud9 players, in fact, heading towards A. And you know what? The only line of defense here on this A bomb site is going to be Maniac with just a USP. So Cloud9 should be able to relatively easily overpower him. He stood on this balcony, just waiting for the Americans to make their way in. Molotov going into pit, and Titan is soon going to have to rotate. They'll know now.
Yeah, the bomb gets planted by the time Maniac figures it out, and there it is. The rotation is going to come through. Existence does manage to get over here fairly quickly, and he's going to stop that man behind default plant, essentially. Gets caught by Nothing, but then Nothing could get caught by Apex in turn, and that's exactly what's going to happen. That P250 up close, dealing far too much damage. 3-on-3 scenario now, and RPK just clicking away, but Skadoodle is going to be able to take his face off, and it's going to come down to Kenny S and Apex, the deadly duo. P250's in hand, and we'll see if they can actually pick something up here. They've got that UMP as well now on Kenny. He doesn't need it. Snaps out, and there's the 3 kills. Are you kidding me? They actually managed to do it. They don't have time to get the defuse, but they might very well live, and they will. Apex lives with an AK, and Kenny lives with the UMP. Still, massive damage dealt to the Cloud9 lineup there as far as the money is concerned.
Yeah. They lost so many weapons, but hey, they're going to rebuy up now. They've still got a lot of money because they have planted the bomb a few times. But Freakazoid now, yep, there's the AK-47. I was worried for a second, but here we go. Apex heading towards B alongside his comrade in Existence to prevent any pushes coming towards there. Meanwhile, Cloud9 looks like they're going to try and get up there fast. They don't know that Kenny S is open mid, and if they can get control of Upper Banana here, we could see smokes go towards Coils and CT Spawn and a quick execution towards the bomb site.
Oh, I love this. Time for the sneak play. Can they make it work? Yes, they can. Cloud9 walk forward, picking up 2 kills. Double entry frag onto that B site, and Titan, the rest of them, stay put. You still have Sean Garris out and hunting right now, and he's going to be closing in on this. We'll see if he can actually get the information as to the disposition of the forces here for Titan, because there's nobody on that B site. Maniac turns away. Free kill there for Sean Garris. Now the rest of them, RPK and Kenny S, hold up in pit. Strong position here. Cloud9 still have some money in the bank, though. I think that they should at least be sending a couple of people out to scout. start figuring this out. And Freakazoid, he's moving into CT. Nothing. Bottom banana. Okay, then. We might see them start to close in on this. As soon as they spot Kenny, they should know.
They should. We've got Sean Gares making his way in from Apps, and one person from Library. Freakazoid, he's made a lot of noise. Kenny knows he's in and around that area. And, well, Sean dropped down, but RPK got the frag. So he is going to have to rebuy that AK-47. It's unfortunate because Cloud9 was so hungry to try and prevent Titan, particularly Kenny S, from saving his magic stick. But it's not going to happen. And here we are in Inferno. Cloud9, 4 rounds up on the T side. And they've got a lot of money in the bank. They've looked solid so far.
Total reversal here. Fantastic. And now they go for the aggression. Out and out, straight up onto that B site. They get control of top banana. The Molotov goes down to buy some time here. There's still plenty of nades, plenty of gear for Titan. They did skimp a little bit somewhat. I mean, Kenny had the money to drop a FAMAS, so Existence will have a rifle to play with here on the B site, as well as Apex with his M4. But we can see Maniac with that 5.7. Still, not the end of the world. Second Molotov and the double roast. Apex, Existence, tag teaming it. But then the Molotovs come out here onto the B site, and Apex taking some damage. Good anti-flash, though, to slow things down. He will get caught out in the open by nothing, however, and that opens up this B site. Incredible. Cloud9, another round where they're able to walk onto the site and just completely eliminate the defense.
Yeah, and the issue here is Maniac only has a 5.7 to work with. Kenny has climbed up to the top there. He's trying to spot if there's anyone hiding in the back of Ruins. RPK is definitely going to find someone here on Banana, but Kenny is working wild, pushing through CT spawn. Knows there's someone in dark spot, and now it's Sean versus Kenny. And Kenny looking to get the shot off. He's going to put the defuse down. But unfortunately, he just does not have enough time. But he does pick up a kit. Sean Gaz is spraying and praying, but he's not going to be able to get it. And just in the nick of time, Cloud9 just about salvaged the round.
Ed, why are we looking at RPK? We should be looking at Sean or Kenny there. Man, I can't believe it. He gets the Glock. That's another split second. And this time, it goes Cloud9's way. The last time on Cash, Titan managed to get it just in the literal nick of time. Now Cloud9, it goes their way. They get the lucky break. They get 5 rounds on the board. It's going to be 3 FAMASs, an M4, and an AWP for Titan, so they still have a little bit of money to buy. But this is it. Cloud9, they could be right on the edge of running away with this. If they win this round, Titan are going to be in the dumps.
They are, and like we saw on the pistol round, only 2 players defending for Titan here on the A-bomb site. Cloud9, it looks like they're going to go around Arch. The question now is, are they going to wrap around this A-bomb site, take Library and Arch control, and then head towards a bomb site, or are they going to try and push towards CT spawn and go on to B? But RPK has other ideas. Headshot coming in with the FAMAS. He knows that nothing is on quad as well. There's Maniac on the top, who's dealt a heck of a load of damage onto these incoming players. And Cloud9, they're a man down, and Freak and Skadoodle are bleeding.
Yeah, this is the power right now of Maniac's position, but he gets shot down here. He could get hunted, and he will. Nothing, just relentless in his pursuit. Now, 3 on 3. Smoke is down and nothing. Don't mess up the jump, or that's going to be a painful mistake. Waiting in Graveyard, and this is not a decent position to be in. He manages to drop back behind the pillar, and they're just about buying time at this point. Existence roasts Skadoodle, but then the crossfire could be set up. Freakazoid takes one with him, and it's going to be Freakazoid. Not long for this world. Apex will close in on him, but they don't have a kit. And, well, this is going to be yet another close one, but they'll have it.
Just about.
Wow, how many close defuses do we have to go through here? My heart can't take it, Freak.
Cloud9, more than enough money to buy. Nothing. Will most likely drop an AK-47 for Skadoodle. And again, we mentioned that this Cloud9 lineup is pretty premature. They've not been together for too long. Obviously, the core in Sean, Nothing, and Shroud have been, but Skadoodle brought in from the rest of the NA scene as a free agent. Of course, he played under iBuyPower, and the other pickup is Freakazoid, someone who they played with back in Complexity, and so far they've looked brilliant on this map.
That they have. I mean, things have definitely gone their way, and look at how close it has to be basically for Titan to win a round. I mean, you couldn't get much closer than that. Titan 1 round on the board now on their CT side of Inferno. 5 rounds for Cloud9, and still some breathing room here. These have been very close rounds through and through, however, so they don't have fat stacks of cash right now, Cloud9. So their backs are a bit to the wall, but the same could be said for Titan. Only 2 players surviving that last round. They might have been able to drop a little bit. Again, Existence with the FAMAS, but that means that they're very low on funds. So this is it. A key round in this first half. Cloud9, they have the chance to just completely obliterate Titan right here. Titan, they have a shot to actually get some control back in this half and start their way back into a favorable finish.
Yeah, Cloud9, they first started off the round by heading towards Banana, where Titan was stacking with 3 players, and now they've had a change of mind. They're perhaps looking for an entry. They're not going to get it. Titan have rotated the extra man now back round to A, and it's going to be even more difficult because Maniac's going to get the first frag for the defense. They know he's in pit. Skadoodle with the headshot, with the AK that was, of course, dropped for him. Smoke's going out. This will allow the plant to go down. And let's see what after plant positions Cloud9 are going to take.
Where are they going to be able to get into now? 10 seconds left. They need to get that bomb down now. And they pull off of it. 3 seconds. They have 2 now. They need to get this bomb planted. It needs to happen. They just barely manage it. But Shroud, this cost them. Shroud is now the only man alive. He's up on balcony. He gets 2 kills. He's still alive. This is so key. But that bomb, it's not ideal. It is definitely not ideal for him. He's just trying to bait it, and that's just perfect play there by Kenny. So low HP on Shroud. It was such a difficult position for him to be in there as far as taking that fight, and Kenny played it perfectly.
Yeah, we saw the sigh of relief there from RPK at the end of that round, and honestly speaking, Titan, they can't really afford to give Cloud9 more than 1 round, and if it is 9-6, that's still a heck of a lot, so you'd expect them to win their second half pistol to keep their feet in front.
I almost want to see a full force buy coming out of Cloud9 though. Like they again, look at it. It comes down to a 1v1. Titan are still broke. They could still just break them right here, and with that bomb plant, they would have ample funds. I mean, they could at least go up to some Galil, some Tech9s, try and get a mix going, right? But they're going for a bit of a halvesy approach here, so they do have some Kevlar bought up, few smokes to go with, and a single flash on Ska. So we'll see when they decide to use it. Great job there by Shroud, getting the drop on Maniac. That's going to open up this defense on the A site. RPK falling back into pit. This is it, the last line. He needs to hold, and he spots out the man, gets the spray. RPK cleaning it up.
But not cleaning up enough. Freakazoid with the Tech9. Onto RPK. Apex now quick on the rotation from Banana, and he's got to try and sniff out where these Americans are. He spotted one going into Graveyard. Nade goes out, but that nade's going to miss. But Sean is going to creep round behind Apex with a Tech9, but no, he can't get the kill. He can't capitalize on the position. He knows there's someone else in pit as well. It's a good crossfire that Cloud9 have going, and it will now leave the Titan in-game leader in a very, very tough situation. And there it is, round number 6 for Cloud9.
They've done it. They've broken the cap and off of a mixed buy as well, so this is going to be terrific. They'll have all the money they need to full buy. Whatever they want, they can have. Ska, you want an AWP? You should get it, but he's going to stick with that M4 that he managed to save. The issue here is for Titan. Like I said, so low on money. All these rounds down to clutch situations. They just never had the bank, and so they lose 1 round. They're right back to the drawing board. It's going to be 2 P250s, 3 P250s, and 2 USPs here for the French-Belgium-Swiss mix.
Apex hoping that there is going to be someone coming his way, but Cloud9 read him like an open book. Molotov goes out, and it's now pushed him all the way back onto this B bomb site. It's going to be a very passive hold, and by the looks of things, Titan, are they going to go for a stack, or are they just putting 2 players in CT spawn to be quick on the rotation between the 2 bomb sites?
As far as I'm concerned, this is a stack. I mean, 4 guys on this side of the map, right? 1 guy holding in CT, 2 in construction. This could be interesting. Cloud9, they're moving with that bomb further and further up Banana. They've had success on Banana as well, so this could work. They could walk right into the trap here. Maniac lying low. The P250's ready and waiting. Kenny with the USP, but he's still lethal with it. And here we go. The push begins. RPK takes out Sean Garris. That was the lurker. All 4 players here, 4 Titan gathered up, and they're just waiting so patiently. They're drawing Cloud9 into this site. Second boxes get picked up, but Apex gets the headshot, and it's going to come down to Freakazoid, tracking down that man in the smoke. It is not going to happen, though. Kenny takes one, but it's just this tit-for-tat battle, and Titan, they do it. The trap works perfectly.
It does, and Titan, again, they need 9 rounds here to at least go into the second half with a somewhat of an acceptable scoreline on the CT side. Again, this is the Titan that we were speaking about, saying they're so strong on the Inferno. RPK, Existence, and Kenny S back from their CS Source days, even when they were a part of Very Games. In particular, Existence and RPK, this was the map that everyone used to fear them on. But unfortunately for them, this ain't CS Source, this is CS Global Offensive, and Cloud9 here, this is a mixed buy coming out. Sean and Shroud with just Tech9s. So they are lacking a bit of firepower, but fortunately for them, they do have 6 rounds so far.
They've passed the cap, essentially. Now, anything past this point is gravy. So if they can get up to 7, even 8, it's still absolutely possible. Titan, like I mean, it's still very low on the money for Titan. They are playing with their backs to the wall. A successful gamble in the last round. But Cloud9, they're not willing to give up. They know that this is still a situation that they can win in here. 3 AKs, 2 Tech9s, a bunch of nades. this is perfectly feasible for them to walk onto a site with this kind of gear. And Titan again, stacking the A site. They do keep 3 players at bottom mid. Cloud9 just waiting for that smoke to clear, however. So it's about to get a little bit hectic over there for Existence. Nice peek there by Shroud. Apex, however, will take out his teammate, Sean Gare. So Sean serving as the bait, essentially. Shroud not able to really do anything behind that, however. Fresh smoke goes down on Banana, but look at this push coming straight through. They're just going to barrel onto the site. Freakazoid is feeling it. He felt that. Gets smacked in the face immediately. Existence not having any of that. They managed to sneak their way through, and Nothing will take out Kenny, but this is definitely going to be Apex holding up close and just slapping Nothing down. Shroud and Skadoodle, the last 2 alive. They've got AKs, but they've only got 16 seconds to get this bomb plant down, and Existence still alive back here, playing his position perfectly. This is how it's done. Textbook play. Existence stays alive the entire time. 4 members survive for Titan, and that was a masterclass.
Yeah, it really was, from a man with so much experience under his belt, and that contributed as well. A lot of players in that situation may have gotten frag hungry, maybe over-peaked, but instead Existence, he just twisted and turned around the quad at the back of the bomb site, made sure Cloud9 couldn't kill him, and made sure that clock was run down, and run down it did. Kenny S now with the AWP trying to get the pick at mid. Unfortunately, just missing. But Cloud9, we've got Shroud on the Deagle and a few P250s. Let's see what they can pull out the back.
Yeah, it's going to be just a bit of a run and gun, essentially. They're going to try and split up on A, it looks like. They do bait out the shot from Kenny, but now they've given him enough time to reset, and there we go. The pain train, is leaving the station. Kenny with 2. Can he get a 3rd? He expects to walk around, cleans that up. Very nifty work there. Kenny, 4? No, he does get overwhelmed. So, not going full JW there. Missing out a little bit, and Shroud not able to get anything done. Apex closes off that angle very nicely, and they can save the AWP for Kenny. So that's the important bit.
Yeah, the pain train, and Kenny S was the conductor. So 5-6 now. Titan money is looking good. It's looking okay. Existence on over 6k, Maniac on over 7, and Cloud9, of course. The last round was an eco. They now have enough money to buy, but they are a bit low here on grenade, Semler. They've got a heck of a load of smokes, though, and as we know, smokes are so crucial to get the entry onto both bomb sites here on Inferno. You want to hit the A bomb site, make sure you smoke arch, make sure you smoke pit so that you can cover potential areas where CTs might be hiding. If you're going towards B, smoke CT, smoke coils, and let's see whether Cloud9 opt to go to B. But the bomb's on A. Or at least towards A.
That's the awkward bit, isn't it?
Could see a fake towards B, then the players quickly rotate round towards A. But Kenny, all eyes on mid. He's watching to make sure no Cloud9 players can come from second mid, but I think he may have heard someone just to the right towards bench.
And that's essentially going to cause him basically to fall back, and this is it. He starts to realize as he glances at the clock, it's all on time and essentially a feel, basically. He knows that, okay, maybe they can come from bottom mid, second mid in this position, but now they might be gathering up, and I don't want to be too close. I need to be able to get off a couple of shots before I get rushed down. And he's just going to start falling back. But there we go. Rotation comes out, and this bait, it's working perfectly. Kenny, there's the moment's hesitation. So he hasn't fully committed to going to the B site because his teammates are essentially telling him, wait, we saw the smoke, but we haven't seen anybody yet. Don't over-rotate now. And that's actually Nothing, just making noise over there. That's going to be the short push. That bomb is there, and now the full rotation is going to come out from Titan. The brunt of the force is going to be moving in, but 3 players survive for Cloud9, and they've got 10 seconds left to get this bomb plant. Maniac stops that plant from happening, and Kenny hits the shot onto Sean Gares. 4 seconds left. He can't find the bomb. Skadoodle cannot win the round. And now it's all about staying alive, Scott. You better run your little feet off. And he just barely makes it into apartments in time, holds on to that AWP. But it is so close now between these two teams. This is what we wanted. Unlike Cash, where it was really just one-sided for Titan, Inferno, we're getting a show here. 6-6 the score now. Very even match.
Yeah, and that shot from Kenny S, that was what did it. The bomb got lost. Skadoodle couldn't pick it up. And again, fine margins is what Counter-Strike comes down to a lot of the time. And we could very well see a battle of the AWPers. Skadoodle is playing with the glass cannon AWP, and they're most likely going to push up to the top of Banana here, just wait for the Molotov to disappear, and then see if Skadoodle can get maybe an entry onto either Apex or Existence, and then the rest of the troops will rush in.
Oh, we see the pop flashes, but as that smoke blooms, Existence spots Skadoodle, so that's the AWP down. Nothing is able to recover it, but the primary AWPer, and then the secondary AWPer. Both of them get picked off, and that is also routine. It's so risky, right? Versus Titan in particular. It's very risky to stand up on the cart when the smoke is down because Apex, that's become a tendency of his. He will just put some random shots through at different times, and it just so happens that this time nothing is standing in the way. Defense is very refined now for Titan. So 2-man advantage now going into this. They don't lose the AWP, so Sean Gares now has a gun to play with, but he needs to hit an incredible shot here versus RPK. Is he going to manage it? He will not. Sean Gares gets dropped, and RPK just cleaning house. Perfect defense all across the board.
Yep, just like RPK of old, and stepping it up there that round. And Cloud9, we need to bear in mind that it wasn't a very strong buy coming out from them. Skadoodle's going to find himself a little bit low because of that glass cannon buy that he went for, and he's just going to settle with a Tech 9, but he's still got armor, and he's still got a heck of a load of nades. So for example, if Freakazoid can get an entry, maybe drop his AK and pick up an M4 instead, and vice versa, then it wouldn't be too shabby for Cloud9. And they've upped the tempo here. They're going straight out towards mid. They're running towards RPK. Bomb has been spotted. There is the double. He may very well make it a hat-trick. Maniac, though, knows there's someone in apps, and it's all kicking up here on A.
Yeah, this is flawless. Look at that. RPK with the double hold. He calls for the third man as well. Apex is there to cover him even when he gets caught out, and then Maniac and Kenny just tag teaming. Just flawless. I mean, that's Cloud9. It's not per se an act of desperation. It's just them really just trying to change up the pace. You want to throw a curveball like that every once in a while. You need to just try and see if you can't change up the timing. So maybe you catch Titan out of position. Maybe you lull them into thinking, well, we've got 10 seconds before I have to start worrying about this angle in particular. That's Cloud9 just trying to completely pull a fast one on them. Cloud9 still able to push up here fairly quickly, though, and they do actually get a pretty healthy buy, all things considered. Although they run through the Molotov, and Freakazoid and Sean Gares are both very low.
Maybe they mistimed it there, and Apex, burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno onto Freakazoid. 4 versus 3. Nothing. Shroud and Skadoodle to try and at least get a bomb plant here on the B bomb site. But again, Skadoodle solo on HP, 12 HP, just one shot to the chest would probably see him hit the floor here. Kenny S trying to get a kill through the smoke. That Molotov could distract the planter quite a lot, and down goes Skadoodle.
Nicely done there by Existence, just playing his position correctly. RPK is there as well. This is a 2-on-4 retake, and they are going to manage it. Nothing does start off strong here, taking out RPK, but then it's still the Triangle of Doom slowly closing in. There's the shot from Existence, spots the man out. Tag team duo. Maniac comes in, and it's going to be the knife attempt? No way. Shot from Existence. He's not messing around. He's got a kit, and they have plenty of time for the defuse. Titan, all things, after such a rough start, they still managed to come back and make this 9-6. That's a huge save for them, considering at the beginning of this half, they weren't even in the game.
And look at how many rounds they won consecutively. And that just goes to show, you mentioned this to me yesterday, how Titan are one of those teams where once they can get a few rounds in a row, build that little bit of confidence, and that's when they'll be at their most effective. And
well, look at Apex. Apex is like the key. He's like the barometer of Titan, essentially. If Apex is messing people up, that's when you know all of a sudden, hey, okay, things are looking pretty good, because he is that confidence man. He needs that strong start. He needs to get frags on the board to start really, because it's just kind of like a boulder rolling downhill. You know, if you give him a bit of a nudge, he'll start flattening buildings and people left and right. Exactly. So there you go. Titan, this time around now, they managed to stabilize, and we go into the T side, and again, Titan not really changing anything up. They go full Kevlar. This has become their calling card. This has become their standard play in pistols on T side. They just want to go for the brute force run and gun approach.
And as we said earlier, this pistol round could be crucial for Titan. It will create such a large gap between the two teams. But if Cloud9 win it, then you'd expect them to win 3 in a row and tie things up at 9-9. And then this game could very well get hot and spicy. And let's see at this CT setup. It's going to be 2 Cloud9 players holding this quad area. In fact, it's going to be Shroud on quad all by himself, and 1 player in apps. He's got to fall back, and they're going to set up this crossfire here, Samler, and wait for Titan to make their way in, but they're taking their time.
The key man here is nothing. If they decide to push up Arch with that bomb, nothing is going to have to stay alive. He's going to have to hit some shots. But unfortunately for him, he's backing up Speedway. This is a timing thing, essentially. He's not sure. They're trying to make a bit of a gamble at this point as to where Titan are going to go. They have no idea. They have no information. Now they hear the steps, and now it's too late. Nothing is out of position. It comes down to Skadoodle, and it comes down to Shroud. And let me just, Skadoodle, check. Shroud, check. Nothing. We're waiting for it. I mean, now this is impossible. 3v5 retake. They need to hit godlike shots, essentially, and we'll see if they can manage it here, Cloud9.
And let's see if they can, and that was godlike from nothing, but it's just not enough to salvage the round for them. Apex says, anything you can do, nothing, I can do better. And there was the all-important pissed around I was talking about. Titan, they're going to buy these submachine guns. Cloud9, very, very low on cash because they barely got any frags here. So they're going to be on this eco round. And Titan, again, they've got so many nades, you'd expect them to win this round easily. And at the end of these first 3, most likely find themselves at 12-6.
And this is going to be just ideal for Titan. Look at this. Full SMGs, 4 MP7s, a MAC-10, and versus Kevlar free targets. I mean, this could be outright destruction right here. Do they decide to push onto A side? I want to see them run into a stack at this point and just completely maul it. That's also a lot of money. I mean, it's such a minimal investment for Titan, but the return could be big right here for a few of these players. We'll see if they can manage it. That's you know, just to make it perfectly clear, the pistol round is just so important with the first half, second half. You started off because of these sorts of situations. One team will then have the money to buy up more expensive guns. The other team will be stuck on pistols or a combination of pistol armor. Still a weaker buy, all things considered. So the fact that Cloud9, when they're already behind mentally, they need to get a strong start in the second half. They lose that pistol. This is going to do nothing but build Titan's confidence because they're running it up there with SMGs versus Kevlar-less targets. So when you have no Kevlar, whenever you get hit in your body or your head, you're just going to go. Your aim is going to go all over the place. That's the point. And so that's just a feel-good round for Titan. It's just like just nice music going on, nodding their head, laughing along, cleaning up.
And again, that's what we were talking about. Cloud9, they're still stuck to the pistols, and like you said, this can play such a factor mentally and physically as well. This game drags on, and the problem here really is just up against these submachine guns, especially after they buffed them. Is what can Cloud9 possibly do? Sometimes
Nothing.
in a situation like this, you see them perhaps try and stack a bomb site like Titan did.
Well, like they're doing here, right? They're going to put 4 on B. They had 4 on A last round, though, and that was still just a complete and utter mauling. So here, 4 people on the B site, and Titan are just methodically clearing out the apartments. They got Maniac to push all the way up to top banana. That gave them the control there. It's methodical, really. It's Titan. They're just like systematically taking control of certain portions of the map that will allow them to execute onto the site that they wish to go to. And here we go. They manage to get to top T. They clear out apartments. They're going to go A, and they find Shroud, the only man alive there on that site for Cloud9. So it really doesn't get any easier than this for Titan. I mean, they're just playing by the books. It's really nothing special. The one thing that you do notice there is that Maniac, or Titan in general, sometimes Apex, sometimes Maniac, they go up to top banana, and they do have a tendency to throw that Molotov. It clears out that angle by cart, basically, where a CT can be trying to play safe with the shoulder peaks just to see if anybody's coming up banana. That one Molotov makes it so that guy either has to commit to the fight or back off, but it makes it so much easier for the terrorist to walk up there and get control. And that's control of top banana is so important just because that allows you to set up with your nades, your smokes, your flashes to take that site later on.
Yeah, one significant
Wow,
thing.
they're actually fighting back in this round, though. Look at that.
One significant thing for Titan in that last round, even though they lost a lot of men, they stuck together as one unit, knowing that if they are going to come up against these pistols, they're all stuck together. They can quickly return the frag, prevent any of the CTs picking up some of those submachine guns and use them against them. And AKs now coming out existence, interestingly enough, sticking with the submachine gun, Semler, whilst Cloud9, 4 M4s and an AWP for Skadoodle.
Yeah, he's sticking to the submachine gun, but for a second there, I mean, he's basically running around with the Tech 9, and the Tech 9 is almost the stronger option in this situation. Up close, go for the MP7, and this could be it. There's the pop flash. Freakazoid just goes charging through the Molotov, and that's the big punish. That is the costly mistake. It's a gamble, not so much a mistake. It's just a gamble that he's taking, and that time around, he comes up blank. And that's definitely going to set Cloud9 back mentally as well. They need these rounds, these key rounds, to go well for them right now. And the fact that they're constantly losing, making life hard on themselves, giving up entry frags, that's not going to bode well here for the North American team.
Got 2 on quad. And the only 2 on the A bomb site is RPK and Co. Just get apps control again. Apps control is so important on a map like Inferno. Gives you another way to head towards that A bomb site. If you have players going towards quad, they jump around and flank from behind. But Skadoodle now the last line of the defense on the A bomb site. But fortunately, someone has rotated around for the Americans. But he is flashed, and it's a guessing game here for Cloud9. They're not sure. Are they going to go back towards B, or are they going to stay heading towards A? Nothing thinks they're going to A. So does Skadoodle, and the bomb has been dropped. Maniac all by himself in this 1 versus 3, and he's not going to be able to do it. And that was a great round from Skadoodle.
Yeah, Skadoodle in particular, those 3 kills, that's what the power of the op is. I mean, basically holding that position. It's like God, man, the finger right there. He's just like, Bap, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And just easy play there. Now Titan, they're going to regret taking it so lightly when they had the SMGs. Because they would have liked to have a little bit more money, a little bit more of a cushion to work with here. They lose a round, and now they nearly spend all of their money just getting re-equipped again. So they could have had a little bit more room for error. Just a little thing to point out. I mean, they still have money to buy in this round, and that's the important bit. Cloud9 as well, so this is a very even round. And this is the important key round right now for Cloud9, essentially. They need to win this round to keep going, to keep pushing Titan back. They cannot give up yet. It is still very much possible for them to run it back. Only 5 rounds separate these teams. 12 rounds for Titan, 7 for Cloud9.
Kazoid going towards B. And one thing to note here, look at how aggressive Cloud9 have gone down Banana. They're not giving Titan any breathing space on that side of the map. It probably allows them to put one person at tree, but no, they're going to fall back. Because normally when you see CTs get control of Banana, they put a smoke down, push someone towards tree or just towards the bottom of Banana, and rotate an extra man over towards the A bomb site to solidify that other bomb site. But one thing to note here is that the bomb has been left at the bottom of mid, and Titan are going to be going to pick it up and heading towards Banana.
Yeah, it's going to be B time perhaps. They have triple Molotov. They can completely firebomb this site. This means new boxes, second oranges, and oranges. This could be, you know, the burning ring of fire. Love to see that that strategy is back. I mean, it's going to be big action on that B site, but looks like so far the defense is holding solid. The push begins here for Titan. They're trying to flash their way in, and Skadoodle gets completely overwhelmed. The Molotov is down for Cloud9. That buys a little bit of time for the rotation to come through. Existence with the lurk, not going to get anything, but RPK clears out Freakazoid, and he was the last line of defense on that site. Sean Gare is now just trying to get lucky through the smoke.
Yeah, they've got these M4s. Sean Gare is going to fall back, though. Nothing as well falling back from Banana. They've decided, look, we're not going to try and retake this B-bomb site. We're going to give away the round and try to save these weapons. And again, CT side so expensive. And Existence, I was surprised with how easily they allowed him to go towards CT spawn. Fortunately, they were hot on his tail and he didn't capitalize. If he'd have picked off the rotators, Cloud9 probably wouldn't even be saving onto these weapons.
Yeah, but the one thing there is that if Skadoodle picks up even one kill, that could change everything. From the force pushing up onto that site, the Molotov was there. They had committed to it, but if he can get one kill, he probably falls back, and then, you know, just falling back from there. So we see this big round from Ska where he gets 3. And then the follow-up is just, we don't really see anything from him. So, big opportunity there missed. Cloud9, of course, they have to back up. They realize they just have so little room for error right now. They do manage to get a fairly respectable buy out of this, having saved 3 rifles. So they do have one man, that's Ska, who's going to be on that 5.7. Not that much of a downgrade for him. We have seen him just wreck people with it. So he's still very much a dangerous man with that pistol. The rest of his teammates, 4 rifles. So 13-7 the score, and Titan, they're going to be grinning about picking up a round. They are 3 rounds away from locking down this map.
Yeah, and again, it's not the end of the world for Skadoodle, especially if one of these Titan players falls and they pick up an AK-47 and give it to him. He's more than capable of getting frags with it, but at the moment, Titan, they're being forced into playing a slow game. Cloud9 putting these smokes down, and Titan, obviously, they just can't peek through them.
And Titan with control of top B now. They're going for a bit of the screamy stuff. I love it. Now, Sean Gares attempts to go for the spray. He's going to fall back, playing it safe. It's Freakazoid now. Commits with that Molotov and beats Apex straight up mano and mano. That was a fantastic duel and a key round, a key frag for the round right there. The fact that Freakazoid wins versus Apex is big. Apex continuing to do work for Titan. And that's Kenny. Wasn't that Kenny in the boiler?
I believe it may have been. But the issue here is that Cloud9 have actually spotted it, hence why they've rotated someone closer to CT spawn, just in case they need to be on the fast rotation. And Cloud9, as soon as they spot Maniac, which they most certainly will, they're going to know that it's going to be an attack onto A as Cloud9 come in. Titan looking to get the bomb down, but it's Existence, the in-game leader, all by himself. He's got him 2 already, looking for 4. Existence with the headshot. The smoke goes down. He spotted Sean earlier on. He's going to try and cut him off now. And as the buttons get pressed, it's now mind games between Sean and Existence. Smoke going out as well, renewing that wall of smoke. Existence says, you're not going to be able to get me. But Sean says, you know what, Existence? I can still see through the side of the smoke. It wasn't ideal. Defuse comes in. And Cloud9, they live to fight another day.
Sean Gares ends him, and that is a key frag. And Apex is looking a little concerned there as well. You know, that was definitely winnable for Existence. So turning it into a 1v1, I mean, incredible action there by Existence. And that just goes to show that Existence's personal level is also increasing. Now you can actually count on him in situations like this where he cannot actually turn it around. So the fact that he brings that back makes it so incredibly expensive for Cloud9. Once again, Cloud9, FAMAS, 5-7, they have no money. And Titan neither. This is such an important round again here. 22 rounds in. Cloud9 on 8, and now we go into it where the winner of this round could force the other team into a double eco scenario.
That'll be ideal for either of the teams. Sean trying to stop that, but Freakazoid is still here on this B-bomb site with his beloved AK-47, spraying on the last one, but Kenny S is the man to terminate his existence on the site. And now nothing, Shroud and Skadoodle. This is going to be a tough retake. Skadoodle only with the 5-7.
And a single smoke, they need some flashes, they need something, and that Molotov is not going to help Ska. He has to kind of dance here on the edge. The other two players moving around through smoke, but again, they have to go running right through it, and they fully commit. RPK there to greet Skadoodle, gets slapped down, and now it's going to be nothing. Manages to find a way through. He knows that Maniac is waiting behind new boxes, but time is running out. It's completely ticked away. He's lost his gun. Oh, this is awkward. And does he keep them long enough for the bomb to go up and take them with him? No. Oh, they managed to survive both of them. Insult to injury there. At that point, nothing turns around and commits to just trying to take a couple of them with him. He knows that they're low, but he can't quite pull it off. And now Titan 2 rounds away from securing this map, and it's looking incredibly grim for Cloud9. Look at the state of their economy. This is the issue. Whoever lost that round was going to be in the sticks. They were going to be broke. So we see Cloud9, they're actually going for the overtime as well. They don't fully commit and force buy here in this round. They just upgrade a couple of pistols.
Yeah, they're going to give Titan match point most likely and then fight to take the game to overtime. But Apex says, I don't want to go to overtime. I want to end things now. Shroud with the P250. He spotted someone at the bottom of mid, but again, it's a very, very, very steep hill for Cloud9 to try and climb. And the AKs just reign supreme over the pistols.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point where Maniac doesn't even need to see them to get the kills. Now Cloud9, I mean, they just look dazed. They look shell-shocked. And this is definitely, I mean, they've shown good matches. They have pushed teams, but at the same time, not being able to get the wins on a team with such high expectations as well after the roster change Skadoodle recently picked up is a really rough time for them. Apex is going to find Freakazoid, who just relentlessly pushes forward, and there we go, Sean! And nothing. It's the double push down Banana, and it works marvelously. They manage to trade up, get 2 kills to return. They're not done yet, Cloud9. They are fighting. And it's a 3-on-4 scenario now. Sean and Nothing having taken some damage. No more smokes, however. And it's a minute 15 left in this round. That is a long time to go without being able to block off these choke points and force Titan to make some difficult decisions.
Yeah, they're fighting, they're hungry, they want to keep themselves in this game and fight on here at the Gfinity Spring Masters in the groups. Kenny S, though, with the bomb, interestingly enough, alone on Banana. So we very well... Let's see what Titan are going to do here. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. What I like for them is that they've still got a heck of a load of nades to work with. They've got 2 smokes. If they do creep up and join Kenny S here at the top of Banana, smoke off CT, smoke off Coils, use the skybox with that Molotov to clear out Freakazoid, where he sometimes plays at new boxes, and then mount the attack. But look, it's the man in form. It's Jordan playing on this B-bomb site, and let's see whether he can stop this rush coming in.
It's going to be a tough call for him. He's got that flash into pool. They should be turning away from that, however. He takes that fight straight up. Kenny getting tagged down low. Nothing's still alive, and the smoke goes up, and now he's on the wrong side of it. He steps through, however, and takes a kill. 1-for-1 trade, maintaining the man advantage for his team. Sean is there to deny the plant. 9 seconds left, and now an impossible situation. There should be no time left to be able to get this bomb plant down, and it's going to be RPK standing toe-to-toe. Takes another one with him. Shroud will live, and that means the round for Cloud9. But RPK, merciless. 4 kills for him. 25 frags total. And RPK and Apex right now just dominant on this map. Look at that, top of the scoreboard by a fair margin. Not a single person past the 20 frag mark for Cloud9 right now. It is a real tough situation for them.
Yeah, RPK punishing them, says, you're not going to let me win the round, so I'm going to make sure you don't save your weapons. And that's why Cloud9, they've got a scout on Skadoodle, a FAMAS, but it's not even going to matter when Apex plays as good as this. They run straight into his crosshair, exploding on Banana. And is this going to be the end for the Cloud9 dream? Retreating is what Titan are doing. But they are going to leave Maniac here to be a nuisance, lurk around, make a bit of noise to try and maybe sell a B fake later on.
Yeah, exactly. They don't realize how quickly Cloud9 were rotating towards that B site. Cloud9 thought that this was it. This was going to be the end of this map, the end of the round, because Titan, they were putting so much pressure there at the beginning with the double kill like that. Apex, man, he just completely did work. Again, true Titan style, right? Probably any other team would have pushed up behind a double kill. They'd have just gone like, okay, that's 90% sure that site is clear. If not, it's only one guy we have to deal with. We'll probably kill him too. Get control of the site. But Titan in true, existence style, they just slow right down again. They don't take any risks. They don't risk running into a mow down like a triple spray or anything of the sort. They set it up so that they can control the situation. So it will be that single man holding on the site. And Sean Gares, and he wasn't there for long. Maniac, it doesn't get much easier than that. Free kill for him, and he's going to already be infiltrating CT. This is perfect.
And now Skadoodle with only the scout, and you can only put your hands together and pray for him to maybe get some exit frags, but the exit frags ain't even going to matter if they lose the game. And Titan, how well did they do to bring it back? Considering, was it 6-2 down at one point?
That's just an incredible comeback on their CT side to turn it into 9-6. Apex is like, that's how we do, boy. They're right now. Maniac's just like, well, that's what happens when you screw your head on Apex. You get the kills, you focus. Maybe he had enough time to DM as well. I hear that Apex is also very reliant on his deathmatch to get warmed up, get his eye in. If he doesn't get it, he struggles. So probably had a good bit of time to warm up. I think he was actually over in the warm-up room before these matches during the downtime. So yeah, Apex putting in the work, and you see the result right there. Top frags on the map, just demolishes the North American team. He had the help of RPK as well. And RPK, you just gotta love RPK. Apex, it's like explosive rounds, right? He's just picking people off, mechanical. RPK, it's like the silent killer. He just he's like this fart in an elevator. He's just there, and you die, and you never know what hit you. It's just, I don't even know where I'm going with that one. But RPK also with double kill, like that, managing to be second on the scoreboard as far as Titan is concerned, that's also just incredibly important for Titan because they need RPK to step up. We've been waiting for months now for him to actually step up and fill that role that was Callie's role essentially before the debacle.
Yeah, and one thing about Titan is they have so much experience in that lineup, which is probably why they opted to bring RPK back. And it's experience when you're 6-2 down like it was. You've got to make sure that your head doesn't drop. You've got to keep fighting on. And that's exactly what Titan did. And what a game it was in the end.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Really, we saw Cloud9 with the start. We had started Cloud9 with 6 rounds at the beginning, or 5 rounds rather, but at the beginning before they started to get battled back a little bit. But Cloud9, Inferno is the curse. Inferno is the curse. It's like Envy with Inferno. It's just that they can't win it. Or it's a 50, or statistically now it's a 50-50, but Envy have been struggling on Inferno for quite some time, and Happy persists in picking the map. It's the same thing with Cloud9. They somehow always wind up on Inferno, whether by design, whether by choice, or just a cruel twist of fate. But they wind up on Inferno, and they never seem to quite be able to show us what they're capable of on this map, because according to them, it's just like, yeah, Prac is going great. We've got strats. Everything is good. We're going to pick this map, and we're going to dominate on it. But when it comes to land time, we just don't see it. We don't see the results that we expect from this team. So back to the drawing board for them. Of course, they have a little bit of a safety net this time around, just because 2 new members on a roster, even if you have 3 as a core, that is a lot of work as far as positioning, as far as communication, tendencies. There's a lot that needs to get ironed out there. So I still think that Cloud9 showed us a good performance this tournament, but that's pretty much the end of the line for them here today.
Yeah, but regardless, like you said, they played well, and I'm really looking forward to see how they do at the next event. I do think that this lineup has a heck of a load of potential, especially with such 2 quality players like Freakazoid and Skadoodle are, as we know.
Certainly. Skadoodle in particular, man. This guy was hailed as the best in NA with the AWP. He was a real threat to European teams as well when he was in iBuyPower. He was just mauling people. And so Skadoodle back now in a competitive team. It's high time. But let's go ahead now and hear from the analyst. Scoots, take it away.
Thank you very much, Semler. Well,
forget Kai, ain't you? Yeah.
Well, he's the one that threw. So,
but you got to thank both of the clone brothers.
I don't have to do anything. All right?
All right, mate.
So, Titan did exactly what they had to do.
Yes.
They're still figuring out a little bit of the minutia behind the scenes on this, but what we know is Titan goes through on that 2-0. We don't know necessarily first or second place in that group yet. What we're talking about now is round differences. So where it gets really wacky, unfortunately for Envious and Virtus Pro right now, Virtus Pro is playing their last map against Team Immunity. It is 10-0 right now, which is great for Virtus Pro. If they win this map 16-9 or better for them, they're through. Envious goes home. Yeah. So, and it's definitely looking good for Virtus Pro right now at 10-0 so far. So we could see Envious, watching tomorrow. Crazy stuff.
Don't get me wrong. I imagine there's a lot of envious fans, if that does happen, that are going to be somewhat disgruntled with the format. I imagine that'll be the first thing that they're going to bring up. But it has been hugely entertaining. Like, here we are at the end of a group stage, and we're actually still figuring out who can go through, and rounds are important. I'd imagine for a neutral, this would be quite exciting. But yeah, certainly, Hastro was sort of sat up here in the bleachers, and he was saying, well, this is, he was like, oh my me, like he was just putting it together slowly, and he was like, we could really go out in the groups here.
And it looks like Titan has won the group. They just told me that here. Let's go ahead and look at Group B and give you guys kind of an idea of how this is all working. So you can see Titan is sitting there with 9 points, but the biggie, plus 44. On the round difference. That is huge. And you can see then Envious and Virtus Pro are 34 and 16. That's where this difference that Virtus Pro, because again, they're playing their last match. So that's going to give them 20 plus rounds potentially, putting them over that 34 for Envious, moving them to the second place in the group.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show that even the games against sort of the weaker opposition where you might want to phone it in, they become super important now within the context of round difference mattering. So there's been lots at play in that group. Don't get me wrong. It is a loss in a way to the tournament if Envious kind of were to go out. But I guess that's true of any competition. You want to see the best teams progress, and you know the format going in. So got to say, well done by Titan. Ultimately, I mean, they put on a masterclass there against Cloud9. It went pretty much as we thought it would, which is I've said it time and time again. If Cloud9 are going to say Cash is our map and we're going to pick it, you better make sure your opposition isn't good on Cash. And on top of that, Titan are a very, very good team on Inferno. They've beat Fnatic multiple times on Inferno. They have a godlike T side, so even if you post the CT side, Titan can rip you apart. That's their home map. So that series was always going to go one way for Cloud9. I imagine they were very disappointed with how it went.
I'm going to ask you this, because obviously a player as well. You see it a little bit in some regular sports like football and stuff. When you get into group plays, there is a little bit of gaming the groups, right? And we've definitely had that years ago in 1.6. There was a lot of gaming the groups, like, okay, I don't want to come out in first place, so I'm going to drop some rounds intentionally, so I come out second because I know I'm going to play those guys, right? Because you kind of could follow through how the groups would play out based on who came out. And what always sucks, no matter whether we're talking esports or regular sports, is you never want your tournament life to be in anyone else's hands but yourself, right? So how does Envious go away from going, man, we won 2-0 3 times and we also dropped a 2-0-2, but man, that sucks because it's all about what Virtus Pro does right now.
Yeah, I mean, they can only blame themselves for putting themselves into this situation. That's all. There's no hating the system. Yeah,
and everyone knew, they all had the rules. And again, I was talking about yesterday, I was thinking about people playing yesterday. I'm like, if they didn't start thinking about the tiebreakers till today, it's too late. Because, you've won the match. But maybe you throw a round away or you mess around a little bit, you give a few away because you don't care because you're going to win. That can cost you your tournament.
Yeah, like for example, today we played Vox on Train. we got a 10-5 half on T side. Everyone was feeling good, and then we just totally, I don't know what happened. We were out of the picture on CT side, and that made our journey that much harder going further in the tournament. So this goes to show you got to focus 100% on every situation, and there's no moment for sloppiness.
Yep, and it is unfortunate because obviously #2 team in the world, and again, right now we're looking at 11-2. So yeah, definitely not looking good for Envious. I do believe we have James ready, and he's got Maniac with him from Titan. Go ahead, James, take it away.
Thank you very much, Scoots. I am joined by Titan's Maniac, and this guy is incredibly happy with the situation that's just happened for him. You're first in the group now. Interesting format, but it's worked in your favour, and you're already planning on celebrating just this first milestone. So you've got to be feeling pretty good. Is this a Titan being back, a resurgence, or what's the feeling?
I don't think there is a point saying we are back. It's way too early. It's been just a day. I'm really relieved that we could actually fight the pressure, because when we began the match, Red Eye came to us and say, okay guys, if you want to go through, you have to win both map and you have to have +X difference. So the pressure was quite high, and we knew that we had to win, but we had to win a lot, on a large score. So there was a lot of pressure, and I'm happy because we didn't feel that much that on the voice, on the way we played. So I'm definitely satisfied with the way we handled the pressure.
Now, Cash is the map that obviously Cloud9 chose, and you guys pretty much annihilated them on it. When you got to that point, it was, I would say, you looked like plain sailing. Any difficulties on Cash for you? Any worries on that point?
Well, not really. As I was talking to you before the interview, we lost twice against NVS on Cash, DreamHack Tour and here, which might make us look not that good on Cash. And of course, we have some difficulties. But each time we lost, we actually had it clear what we did wrong. It's not like we had to really figure out the solution out of the blue and try something new or something like this. We knew what went wrong, and we knew what we had to do to like soften the mistakes and stuff. So we just said, okay, guys, let's cut the crap, do what we have to do and what we did on the server, on the tactics and stuff, and basically it's gonna go well. And mainly we had to stay calm and focused, because on our first match the communication was really way too quick. Everyone talking, everyone pushing, you know, like even when we were 4 and through, like, hey, come on, go to the side, go plant the bomb. It's a big mistake. For us, it's definitely a big mistake, and we just wanted to stay really calm and focused, and that's what we did. And I think that's part of the reason why we just sailed, like you said, on Cash.
Now, Inferno, obviously, it started off with them taking a 5-0 lead. At that point, how was it going in the team? What were you guys thinking? Was the nerves starting to creep in, the pressure building up again?
I must say, I'm guilty. I had a blackout. I had a blackout. You know, that round I just pushed the apps, and I thought they were buying weapons, but they were eco, and I just dropped my weapon to some eco, and I was alone. I had no cover. It was like the worst move of my career, I think. And I just snapped because we lost 2 rounds consecutively on B with a push, like we call just a 1 push, and I just went tab and saw, no, we are not losing 5-0 as City. It's not possible. Please, no, that can happen. I know we are good as City and this cannot happen. And that was maybe the biggest challenge for me, not to totally black out. Yeah. After my stupid move, I just say, okay, keep calm, go back to your positions, do what you have to do. Eventually we're going to come back. And that's what we did. We stay focused and composed. I'm really happy about that. But I must say that this 5-0 situation was really hard to handle. Like, as I was telling you, the round difference was also here as a pressure. So it was kind of a difficult time, but we handled it in a pretty good fashion, I would say. So I'm happy about that.
Now, the format obviously is very different to most tournaments. A lot of people have been enjoying it. It's made for some very entertaining games. How have you found it as a player?
I must say that I do like this format. Obviously, it has some down parts. I mean, of course. Yeah, now it's easy for me to say, yeah, I like the format. Of course, I'm through. But what I think nice is the way I look at things. You are in the best of 3, okay? Yeah. You win the first map, 16-1. You are very good. And then second map, you just lose it like overtime. Let's say 15-19. Okay, snap. Go to a third map, and then you lose it 16-14. I take that example because it happened to me like 5 times in this year. It's terrible. And you just lose the whole best of 3, and you had still such a good play, and you have 0 point, you're out, it's over. Here, you win a map, that's for you. You take it. No one's going to take it away from you. You had this map. So I find it great that winning a map is always, that brings something to the team. And also the veto system allows for more space. I think it's nice. You know, at the end of the veto process, you always have 3 maps, and the team can pick whatever map it wants, I mean. And that also gives a bigger freedom for the choice of the map. And I find it also interesting. So for the moment, it's nice. I'm not sure how it's going to be in best of 3 or best of 5, I don't know. But the group stage was interesting. It's definitely a way we should maybe try in different tournaments maybe.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to let you get off and get on because you are, I know you're buzzing and you've already said you're going to go to the pub, so.
No. I didn't say that.
He's not allowing me to say this. Okay, I didn't drop him in it. He's not going to the pub. We're just going to go, we'll go talk tactics. Yeah, that's the plan. But good luck for tomorrow. Well done for coming first in the group. Over to you, Scoots.
Thank you, James, and a very, very happy Maniac. Good points. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what we think of the format or what the fans at home think of the format. You want the players to think it's a fair and good format. And nice. Now, obviously, the format worked in his favor. It worked in their favor.
The group, I'm sure he does.
He's smiling for a good reason. But again, I think it's definitely better than a best of 1, no matter any way you cut it. We'd all love best of 3s, but you know, That's a logistic issue. That's a time issue. You want more teams, or do you want, best of threes? And obviously, when we did last time, it was only 8 teams, so they were able to work the schedule to do best of threes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to find the balance between what works as a competitive format and obviously what's good for broadcasting. This is, principally about, entertainment, and it's not very entertaining if we can't finish a game today, we can't show you a game, we've got to win the tournament early. So yeah, you got to find the balance. I think we've done that here.
I mean, here's what I'm going to lobby these guys on. I haven't told them yet, so you're going to hear it for the first time, Martin and Gfinity. You own this venue. Unlike everyone else who travels all their gear and all their people around the world, it's really expensive to load into a big stadium a day early. You don't have those expenses. You just got to pay everyone who comes a little more. So why not start Thursday?
It is still a little bit unsettling when you come in the morning and Robert Oland's been sleeping here all night, though. I got to say that.
So maybe we do a Thursday afternoon start, a full day Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then we can do best of threes no matter what.
Yeah. All right,
Martin, on you.
All right, Scott. All right, mate.
Does it good? Yeah, now they're going to fire me because I just cost them a lot more money.
Hang on, I'm just getting in my ear. You want me to take over as host? Yeah, okay, mate. I got this. Yeah.
No, but like when you talk to people like ESL, when they load into a huge stadium, we're talking a huge, substantial increase in the budget for just one more day. Here, not so much, because again, they kind of own the theaters. So anyway, Martin, do it. Let's shift gears. Obviously, we know Titan is in. 15-3 right now, Virtus Pro Immunity. So Immunity's trying, but
it's look, grim watching for envious fans. Obviously, at that point, they really are sending out their prayers. To the God of Australia, whoever he may be, please deliver us. But it's probably not going to happen. And I singled out Virtus Pro as a potential dark horse for this whole tournament at the start when we all had to pick our dark horses, because you never know who you're going to get. Looks like they're going to be going through in place of Envious rather than Titan, which is how I thought it might work out. So just to reel it back in and talk about Titan for a moment.
Yeah, let's definitely.
I'm super happy for that team. Like really, really happy. And they're a team that, as I keep saying, they've got all the ingredients. They've got all that potential. It's just never been clicking. Whether it's a combination of this format, whether it's a combination of actually they put the work in, it is working. They did have a period where they weren't at tournaments. Existence had to withdraw and stuff like that. Missed the last Gfinity, because of some personal issues. Maybe that's all resolved. Maybe they are in a better place now collectively, and they can be a better team. As I said, Maniac, the guy they were interviewing there, is a great guy, by the way, one of the most genuine players you'll ever meet. In fact, I remember doing an interview with him once, and he just clutched a 1v5 to get his team a map. And when he was telling the story about the ace, he almost started crying. He welled up with the emotion. That's how passionate he is about the game. But he's playing the best CS:GO of his career. He's been the guy who's really, gone over the top for them. So long may it continue, because that's been the big question mark with Titan. Can all of their players turn up at the same time? And if they do, they're a handful.
GG, Virtus Pro. So, and that was a 16.
And RIP Envious.
Yeah, so that does have Virtus Pro come out of the group in second place. And unfortunately, that means our friends Envious.
Just while you're doing the maths, I was going to ask Natu. Obviously, Nip have played Titan a bunch of times. I mean, what do you think of that Titan team? I mean, did they give you trouble in scrims and stuff?
We haven't scripted them that many times actually with NIP, but from previously when I was playing myself, I always liked facing them because they play with such structure that I don't know, the matchup always felt something. You always would have a bit of a feel of what they were doing, and they were not as random as you would expect from the likes of like Envious, for example. They're one of the harder teams to play against, or Fnatic, just because of their play style. So they are a very disciplined team, except for I think they had the random factor with Kenny, but the rest of the team was always really disciplined and very structured. And it's been I've been waiting for them to really have a breakout tournament. I think they've been waiting for more than anyone else, really. But I'm one of those guys who've been expecting them to do a very good tournament at one point, and who knows, maybe it's going to be here.
Yeah, and they're definitely always like that second fiddle French crew too, Envious. So for them, it's probably even a glorious thing.
Well, not today.
Yeah, exactly. Not today. The Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, ever since DreamHack Open in Stockholm, back in the day, like last September, which they won, and then the Kaylee incident happened. It's been rough for them, and really just trying to find their form, and their place.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about this graphic that was up, the point difference, 44 rounds for Titan. Envious misses out to only a 10-round difference. They all played 8 maps. That's pretty close, especially between Virtus Pro and Envious. 3 rounds separate you. 25 grand, boom,
It's gone.
Gone. So let's shift gears to your group. You have to go to work here real soon.
Yeah.
And this has worked out perfectly because oftentimes the last match might be a throwaway, right? This is the exact opposite of a throwaway. Next match, Nip versus Na'Vi. You guys are in a do-or-die situation too. You're sitting on, Fnatic has 6 points, so they're currently sitting on the top. You've got 5 points. Navi's got 4 points. Vox has 5, but they're done. So that's all they're going to get. So obviously you 2-0 gives you 8 points. You're number 1 in the group. Fnatic 2nd place. You 1-1. You're 6. They're 5. You still win. Then we'll look at tiebreaker of you and Fnatic for who comes out 1st or 2nd for rounds. They 2-0 you. They're 7. Na'Vi gets 7 points. Fnatic comes out of 2nd place. You're out.
Yep.
How you feeling?
It's very simple mathematics. I mean,
yeah, there's less like round difference stuff for you at least. You just gotta win.
Yeah, ever since our match against Vox, we knew we had to take a list of map from Na'Vi, and it is just the way it is. We go there to win. We want to win both maps. We want to top the group definitely, and just whoever we play against, whatever map we play, we want to win.
All right.
Simple.
That is the NIP credo, actually. They always say that.
Yep.
Whenever you talk to NIP players, it's always the same, isn't it? Like, anything other than winning, unacceptable. Doesn't matter who they're playing, doesn't matter the situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's never any, no. Just nip likes to win.
It's business as usual.
Yeah, win or die.
And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to work. We're going to take a quick break, and again, when we come back, last match of the night to decide the last teams into our semifinals tomorrow. Don't go away.
I'm on it.
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 I'm on it.